everyone. Welcome, welcome. What are you excited about, Zeke? I like it, Zeke.
I'm excited
you're
to be here.
You're excited. You got you're the only one that still wears your shirt because it fits you. It probably fits Co. It doesn't fit me anymore.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I wear the shirt to the show. I've always been that guy.
No, it's like your uniform. It's the show attire. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
No, I skip over it because when we do laundry, I have my shirts are on a shelf so I can see all of them.
Okay.
Now they're folded. They're folded on a shelf.
You've brought up a very important question.
Peek at every shirt. Yeah.
Do you fold your laundry, Zeke?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think I fold? I'm not a Neanderthal, man.
Wait, but then I'm a Neanderthal.
You don't fold.
I guess I'm on this. I guess I'm on the bachelor lifestyle. You guys got people keeping you in check over here in Cool City Population 1. I do my laundry and then keep it in the dryer, and then when it's dirty, I put it back in the washer, and it's just a rotating
So okay, so your dryer is your like drawers, like where you keep your clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It works out. It's pretty.
Do you only have like 10 shirts you ever wear?
Yep.
Pretty much. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Why do I need new shirts?
No, I've accumulated so many over the years. Just oh, that's cool. Oh, GDQ is happening. Oh, this streamer's having a sale on their shirts. This person. I buy a shirt every time. So one of my friends has a new shirt out or whatever. I used to. I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to. But I have 100 shirts but you're right. But of which I wear 12.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is I just have too many gamer shirts, right? And the thing is that gamer shirts, they don't give you the size that fits you. They give you the largest size they have. And those don't fit me. Okay, I'm too broad. So I end up looking like this. And like
Larry King?
Well, I'm like Larry King in it, and I'm Donald Duck in it because my fucking gut's sticking out. Yeah. And it's I just can't wear it, you know?
I gotta say, man, God, that's one of my most hated things during the day is when I'm, go to the bathroom, walk past the bathroom mirror, and then you see that little tiny bit of white poking out from under your shirt. You're just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't need that today.
Yeah.
That is not something I wanted today at all.
Yep. It happens. It happens. Co, do you fold your laundry?
Well, Lena does. I do sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
You just say be careful?
Yeah. Yeah. I do sometimes. Yes.
Okay.
If Lena does not or wants me to, then I do it. Yeah, but she normally handles that.
So is this what's the routine? Do you wake up and then you've got all of your shirts hung up, or are they folded and then
they're all folded in a big thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
For me, I just go to the dryer, I just go over to the dryer and see what's clean. It's easy life.
No, I remember doing the bachelor sniff. It's
I don't sniff it. I know it's clean.
That's good. No, I know, but I mean, you now, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But back before, when I lived in an apartment, I didn't have room or hookups for a washer and dryer, so I had to go to the laundromat.
Oh.
So I would because it was a whole deal. It was a day-long thing that I would take every single piece of laundry that I had to the laundromat because I would wait until everything was dirty.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To take it to the laundromat because it was just a hassle, such a pain in the ass to load up your laundry, take it to the laundromat, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So the sniff test was definitely something I did a lot. What is that? Is that good? Is that all right?
Last bit on laundry, because I know this is why everyone tuned in. The one thing I was really jealous about when I first moved to New York. In New York, you just give someone a giant trash bag of your clothes, and they take it, go get it cleaned, fold it, and return it to you later that day for $10. And that's norm in the city. Yep. That's crazy. I wish that would go other places.
Have you ever seen the Adam Sandler movie Big Daddy, where he adopts the kid? Okay. Because he lives in New York City, and he's talking to the lady on the phone about doing laundry. And he's like, oh yeah, my laundry's all dirty. I'll come do it with you. and he takes the plastic wrap off of the laundry that was delivered. I had to have somebody tell me what the fuck that was all about.
Yeah.
Like it was like, why is he? Does he just get new clothes delivered? It's like, no, that's a laundry service. They wrap it in plastic and deliver it back to you. I'm like, oh shit, New York rules.
Yeah, it was the one thing I was jealous about New York. Not much else except for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Co, you doing all right? How's everything going over there, Co? Are you back? Are you 100%?
Yeah.
Did they give you the...
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty much back.
Okay.
They think they know what's going on, and I've got doctor's appointments and stuff. But the current thinking is that I actually had an untreated ulcer for a period of time.
Jesus.
And and the worst part was like I thought that it was anxiety. So I was like, because it was this like really low, dull pain, felt kind of similar.
Yeah.
And I also was dealing with all sorts of other stuff. So it's been a fun couple months as that's kind of developed. So I'm on now some big like stomach meds, and that is pretty much neutralized like the pain I was dealing with.
Oh, that's great. That's good
Yeah,
news.
yeah. And it had definitely gotten so bad to the point where I was like not eating for a couple days.
Jesus.
Before I went to the ER. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad.
Getting old, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot better
I don't know
now.
if ulcers are ulcers attributed to being old? I don't know. I don't think
for
they
me,
are.
if it does turn out to be an ulcer, which is looking like it is, more of a repeated age due to repeated misuse of food.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so age related, like this stuff doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah. That's probably the case. Yeah.
Go look skinny as hell. I'm 200 pounds, man. I'm tall. So
yeah, we're all tall.
I may look like I'm
6'2",
skinny,
6'4".
but they actually weighed me recently. They're like, you put on some weight. You need to work on that. And I was like, yeah, I know. Thanks.
Yeah. You got to get back on the. Do you still have your tonal?
I do.
I had to take my tonal down. So and I don't want to put it on any wall here at this rental. They like
Lena has started using the tonal, so I am going to be using it soon.
Nice.
Sure. She's already getting me into it. So yeah.
Good for you.
There's a tonal 2 now. Apparently, I don't know if you've gotten messages about that.
What?
There's a tonal 2.
What does it do? What's different?
I haven't even looked at it yet, but you can trade in your tonal for a tonal 2 and all sorts of stuff.
Okay, we're not going to turn this into a normal podcast ad, but
nope, let's do it.
I'll be looking at that.
Yes.
Speaking of podcast ads, I don't want to go into it, but I think my mom might be an investor in Tub Grub.
Oh, she's in, dude, on the Tub Grub front. Someone did it. Someone already did it in Austin. It's already a thing.
What?
Yeah. I got someone showed me an ad for it. It's already a thing. They're under the guise of like, oh, it's a Swedish bathhouse and it's European.
God, yeah.
And you can come and hang out and sit around in a bath while eating our favorite. Fucking Christ. See, they had the bougie, smart business plan, and I had the Hoosier plan. And that was where, that's my demise. That's my demise. So tell your mom thanks, but no thanks. We're closed. We're revisiting our idea, and I'll reach out when we need some more investors.
Sounds good. Okay.
It's been a minute since we've done a show. There's been a lot of things that have happened, that have come out, that we've played. I think there's been like 3 or 4 big games that have come out. Wild, Split Fiction, Kingdom Come still out there. Are you done with that yet? Is it over? Did you finish it?
I think as of today, I got to the point of no return.
Really?
So, and I've pretty much done like all the side quests. I still need to go around and kind of get some of the POIs, because a lot of the POIs have like hidden quests that you can do.
Oh.
And I am planning on doing that. But in terms of the main story, I think I start the finale tomorrow morning.
Damn. How many hours? What are you at?
40-ish, I think.
God, that's a persona and a half.
Yep. I think I'm like
that's so
one
daunting,
of the last
man.
Streamers streaming it. I think everyone else
bounced
moved on.
off.
Yeah. So but I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I've thought about checking it out. Everyone's like, oh, you got to check it out. But man, 140 hours, even for someone that streams games for a living, that's a lot.
It's a really long time. Yep.
Yeah.
And it also other things happen, and it's tough for viewers also to follow along with. Like it's the same stuff we've always talked about with games like this. Like every time that I stream it, I get less viewers. And that's because there's less people who have the ability to follow along with as much of the game that there is. So
yeah,
but, I mean, it's 100% worth it. It's
I've heard
so
great
good.
things. I've heard good things.
So good.
Yeah, dude, it's become lately, and it's been the case forever, but it's just more apparent that if I can't finish a game in a week, like I give it the full week. If I can't finish it in 4 to 5 streams, I'm probably not gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
Because it's too much of a commitment, and I'm saying no to so many other games that I could be playing.
Sure. Yeah.
It's rough. And I feel you, Co, because I took the hit playing Pirate Yakuza all the way through.
Yep.
Oh. Thankfully, that was only a week.
I'm looking forward to that coming up here soon. That's one of my next games. There's really like not much.
Well, it's a hell of a lot more forgiving than Kingdom Come as far as hours go. But depending on how much side stuff you want to do.
Yeah.
Of course. Because there's 2/3 of the game of any Yakuza game is side stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, Avowed was that. Whoever said was like, oh yeah, Avowed 20, 30 hours. You're gonna have a great time. Man, that fucking, I think it was 62 hours is what it took for me to finish that game. Just a complete...
you did finish it though?
Yeah, I finished Avowed this past week. Yeah, just a complete fabrication of the length of that. And it
I'm
also...
at 78.3 hours in Avowed, and I just got to the 4th land.
Oh, wow. You're going to clock in at 100. Damn.
I'm checklisting every side quest. I'm checklisting make sure I do every one of them.
I did every side quest, yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. Avowed is definitely a fun game. Yep.
I think that game was like a pyramid for me. It peaked in the middle. And then as I got closer and closer to the end, it started to like overstay its welcome. And then the very end, I was like, come on, let's go. Wrap it up.
Funny enough, even with as much as I liked it, it definitely felt towards the end like there were way too many like, let's go to camp and have our big last discussion. Like that happened 3 times.
Yes.
It's kind of like when you have that kind of sets expectations to the player. Okay, we just did the big speech, time to get the big ending finale. But then like it happened a second time. And it's like, oh, I thought we already did this. And then by the 3rd time, you're just like, okay, hold up.
Yeah.
like we got shit to do, man.
Wait now.
Yeah, hold up now.
I did
That's right. Where's Jeff in the background? Wrap it up.
I didn't do a final thoughts on that. I did an early thoughts, but final thoughts on that is like, it's a perfect 8 out of 10 game for me. I can't, it's an 8 out of 10 period.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't excel, but I had a great time. Like I enjoyed the combat. I thought the story was perfectly fine. Maybe the most uninteresting part was the characters, the side characters, the companions, to be more specific there, were the least interesting parts of it for me. But yeah, I played for the combat and the exploration because they really nailed that. If they could do more of that and bump the other stuff up, then I'm on board.
Heck yeah, man.
But yeah, also my character was broken towards the end, and that felt really good because people would join the game and they were playing melee.
Is this the gun build?
Yeah, I was critting for 10,000 at the end.
Oh, it's insane.
It's just so broken. So unbelievably
build
broken.
was also, I think all builds get a little nuts by the end of the game.
Okay.
But yeah, like I was doing I think I finished with a dual wield build, and it was just Ginsu. Just like, which was fantastic. I will like, should we just talk final thoughts on Avowed real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's fine.
Okay. So for me, like Avowed was kind of a mixed bag, not nearly as much as something like Veilguard, but like I really enjoyed Avowed. I had a good time beginning to end. People kept asking me like, hey, is this better than Veilguard? Like dialogue and story-wise, 100%. Like it felt like an Obsidian game, which was great. And I loved that. I actually did end up liking the characters and stuff. But I did, just like you, feel like, especially towards the end, they had this level of kind of succinct brevity throughout the course of the game, which I really liked. And then at the end, they just kind of like started saying a whole bunch without saying much. And that was getting a bit like, it felt vacuous. Like, we've literally already talked about this. Don't need to do this. So yeah, that was a bit much. But that being said, biggest issues with the game was that it felt too shallow and unfinished for me. For the price, that was a big issue. I really enjoyed what was there. The combat was engaging. The world and the levels were really fun to explore. I loved all the PoE lore. As a PoE fan, I absolutely loved that.
Yeah.
But I was very disappointed by the companion system. It was way too shallow. It was actually more shallow than Outer Worlds, which was really surprising. And I'll mention something about that will play into all this at the end of what I'm saying here. Also, the skill system, like coming from Pillars of Eternity, I expected to see not fighter, ranger, mage. I expected to see monk, warrior, priest, wizard. You know, or the one I was really looking forward to, and I wanted to say channeler, but that's not right. Chanter. And and like PoE has some really interesting classes, and I was hoping that we could like be a class from PoE in the game. It's just so Cypher. Thank you, Cypher. It's just so like it's so much more generalized than I thought it was going to be. And like entire classes like monk get relegated to just a couple passives, and there's really not much you can do with them. I hope that if we see Avowed continue, that we see them add a lot of that depth that comes with its PoE foundation, because that lack of depth, I feel like, is one of the reasons that about mid-game I started feeling the same way. It's like combat's fun, but at this point I'm just doing the exact same thing. Like I'm not really finding new weapons. I'm not really getting new abilities. I've gotten every active ability I'm going to get. Like, sure, I can fine tune some passives here and there, but like I got to that point like mid-game. It would have been real nice if the systems were large enough to support the entire game. So if we were getting ultimates in the last map kind of thing, that would have been awesome. Having a bit more variety in the uniques. I only felt like, for my dual wield, I only had like 7 or 8 options because you can't really use non-unique weapons. That would have been kind of nice. The weapon customization, again, was just like pick one of 2. Was kind of hoping for a little more of that. So my biggest thing with Avowed is I kind of just wanted everything to be a little more. This is Obsidian, right? Like this isn't a small, this is Obsidian. So it is characteristically and mechanically better than Outer Worlds 1, which is great. So it's on a good path. But hopefully as we see them do DLC and hopefully in Avowed 2, maybe they'll make it give it a bit more Obsidian flavor and a little bit less like Skyrim for the masses kind of skill set stuff.
Yeah. I do wonder like how much of what Avowed is because of the fact that it was rebooted so many times and there was like a directive to not make it as complicated. Because maybe that's too like tinfoil, but I feel like Xbox was
one thing that's important to mention.
I absolutely felt that, like jumping into it.
Yeah,
because I was a little apprehensive jumping into it with its background. The Pillars of Eternity background. Like, am I gonna fucking understand what's going on? Is there gonna be systems in place that I'm not aware of? All this kind of stuff. And it was great. It was actually very nice for an entry level person like who has never played or has no idea about the Pillars of Eternity world.
Yeah.
It was easy for me to jump in. And for those of you who are like lore hounds, there's that stuff for you. But I will say, I've been skipping that shit and I don't feel like I'm missing out a lot. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Like the shit because you can pick up like 100 lore books that have like, 2-3 pages each of like, oh, and this guy killed this guy and this god was angry and stuff like that. I'm like, yep. Does it pertain to me? Get the fuck out of here. Nope.
Yeah.
I will archive you. I will pick you up and I will archive you. I will have a nice full set of all of the books that I don't read.
Right. That's how I kind of was.
But it's there for if you want it, but if you don't want it, it doesn't feel like I'm missing anything from the story that I'm currently playing.
Right. It is definitely a side story in that universe. Ko, what were you going to say?
Yeah, one thing, and also just to add to it, other things that were a little not quite what we were expecting were like the static NPCs in cities, the completely empty ocean areas around the side, and going back to the companion stuff I mentioned. So Obsidian does charity streams all the time, more credit to them. And at one of them, Josh Sawyer, the studio's creative lead, was actually hosting the show. Somebody in the chat said, hey, just out of curiosity, like what's up with the companions? Like, why can't we fully equip them? Why don't they have full, tree stuff like that? And Josh totally honestly and bluntly was like, oh yeah, we didn't have the time or resources for that.
Yeah.
And that is an insanely telling answer because companions are a massive part about that game. So for them to not have had the time or resources to flesh out that system leads me to believe that like they probably didn't have the time or resources for a lot of the issues I have about this game, which is definitely unfortunate, but kind of makes me hope that they have like some Grounded style updates cooking. For those who don't remember, Grounded came out and it was essentially came out in like a 0.8. And then they had like 2 giant patches, a 0.9 and a 1.0 essentially, but they were all after 1.0 technically. But these 2 big patches basically added like enough QOL and functionality that they were like huge additions to the game. They've already said that they're going to release an Avowed roadmap in a couple weeks.
Oh, really? So, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, they have officially announced that a roadmap is coming out for the game, which leads me to hope that roadmap is a road to making it what they wanted it to be. So do I think we're going to get like a Cyberpunk 2.0 style revival with this? Most likely not. I mean, Obsidian has a lot of big projects they're working on. They got another game coming out in like 6 months. And then they're working on other games behind the scenes, and I'm sure they're working on more Avowed stuff. But hopefully we'll get, a bit more of that kind of Obsidian flavor. Like a bit more like refinement that we're kind of used to seeing from them. Especially after Grounded, which was phenomenal. Yeah. And Pentiment.
They did put out... Zeke, you probably experienced this being that you're still playing it. I think it came out the day prior to me finishing it because I logged in and I had 5 extra talent points, but they put a patch in the game. Yeah. It gave you more talent points every 5 levels. You got an additional talent point. And I guess that was to like give the character, I was pretty much like, I am a person that uses a gun. Once I got those extra 7 points by the end of the game, I could do other things if I wanted to, but it was still kind of like, nope, I'm a person that uses a gun and I've got all the like crits and all of that stuff. But it seems like they're trying to facilitate a little bit more, I guess, abilities to a character so that you're not just like railroaded down one path.
Yes. And that's, I was going to say that earlier when Ko was talking about like, you know, the skill lists and stuff like that. And I think it's a neat idea that they have. I think what they should have done, honestly, is not labeled them fighter, ranger, mage. They should have labeled it strength, agility.
The main stats.
Agreed. Yes.
Magic, something like that.
Yep.
Because it makes you think that you like, this is my class. I will not use other class abilities. Absolutely incorrect. It behooves you. Behooves. It benefits you.
Yeah.
To look at other classes' abilities, and I learned that like later than I should have, because you know the ranger ability of like gathering better, that would have helped.
Oh yeah.
I would have gotten that super early on.
Oh right.
As far as like gathering like items like for your upgrades and shit like that, like. It gives you double, like when you used to grab 1, you'd grab 2.
Yep.
And it's like, oh shit, I didn't even look at the ranger and fighter abilities till way later because I didn't think they were for my wizard mage character. You know? However, you should do that. And I mean, credit where credit's due. It's not that expensive to respec. You can respec all the way through the game.
Yeah,
and it increases very reasonably throughout the game. So like it starts at like 50 gold or 100 gold to respect in like the first few levels, and like by the last level 20s it's like I don't know 1,500 gold.
Yeah, I think it was like 2,000.
With thousands and thousands. So like
I ended the game with like 300,000 gold and it was 2,000 to respec. So it was like nothing. And in the final area they just like start throwing way too much stuff at you from a inventory perspective that it's like, okay, max out whatever you want. Like here's literally everything in the game, just max it out. And that felt kind of strange to me too, because I'm walking through the final area. Oh, let me loot that guy. Let me loot. There was a point where I'm just like, why am I doing this? I don't need these. I don't need any of this. I should just go to that door because I go to that door and the credits roll. Why? What am I doing?
Because it's there. No, seriously, this is a big, fat, stinky because it's there game.
Sure, yeah.
You know those books are just going to be lore that you're not going to read. Why do you pick them up? Because I have 1 through 4 missing 3. I bet 3 is in there. The volume 3 of the Lusty Argonian Maid, which I'm never going to read.
Yeah. I was still looting in like the final battle sequence. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. I don't know why I was doing that.
Love it.
Yeah. And I think, was it one of you was like that there's stuff at the end that feels like it wasn't finished. I don't know if you caught it, but there's a area in one of the final areas that there's no way to get into unless you use kind of a bugged method to get up a wall. Because
really?
And so like chat was telling me that they tried every which way. Granted, it was a YouTube chat, so a smaller sample size. Maybe there was just a way to get into it. But like I had to position myself between these two pillars and use the shield charge to like glitch my character up a cliff in order to get to another like door that was locked completely.
And what was in the door?
There was a unique item in there. I think it was like a unique hammer or something.
Weird.
And then there's also a key that you find in one area that opens nothing. It opens no door in the entire, and I even Googled that one. It's like, what does this key open? And I typed the name of the key, and everyone on Reddit's like, I don't know.
Roll key.
And it's got like multiple dates, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 day ago, of everyone commenting like, no idea. I don't know what it does. So there's definitely stuff that was kind of like, it either had removed content or unfinished content or something towards the end of that. That's very evident in the game, which is, it's not the biggest thing, but like you find a key, you want to find what door it opens, right? And if you're not,
can you imagine finding a golden key, but not a golden door?
I know, especially for me. Think about me. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. No, it was tough times. It was tough times, man. I was going crazy. All that said, though, it's still a fun game. I still think, especially if you have Game Pass and you're wanting to play like an RPG, you should check it out.
No, I'm having a blast with it, especially because you guys were talking about being like overpowered. I'm still waiting for that moment where like I'm pretty powerful as a totally mage, like fireballs and wands is basically like my two main sources of damage.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I'm keeping upgraded. Like I am, I'm not falling behind on any of that shit. I've got like all this stuff, and I'm still like, there's still some pretty tough fights for me personally, because I did the mage route and I'm fucking squishy. So like 2 hits and I'm out. Like I'm playing on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
And 2 hits and I'm done. I can't take more than that. So like my companions, their abilities, like that fucking root ability is I overuse that shit because I need to.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel overpowered yet. I was waiting for that. I'm like, where's my moment where I feel like I'm just decimating everything? And
a lot
of resistances.
I can't recall how spells, like, do they get more damage stat wise? Like what improves spell damage?
You put more points into if you're casting them from a grimoire.
Yeah.
You put more points into your grimoire ability, and to there's flame ability, like how flammable you create. Like people, I can't remember what the name of the stat is.
Got it.
But it's like like flame build up. Like so they the circle fills and they start burning.
Yeah.
They scale with level a little bit.
Okay.
But as far as damage goes, like I'm not sure if it's tied to might, but I don't think it is.
Well, might is like an overall.
Might is global damage.
It's global damage. Yeah.
It's global.
It's every,
they don't have
every single damage.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what I never looked it up, but I was thinking like that sounds weird. That might meant my spells too.
Yeah, it's a little strange. Yeah, I think that's why they didn't call it strength, instead called it might. So it's
probably. No, I'm due for a respec anyways. I've respec'd once, and there's a couple of things that I'm like, I never use that, so I'll probably respec out of that and do this, and probably like with the ability points too.
Yeah,
like put more in might than if that's what it is, because I didn't put any in might, and I was like, can that be possible? Like the strength
you might do
stat?
more damage. Yeah.
So that might be it then.
So.
But anyways, I'm still having a blast with it. I love the way they handle I love the way they handle the spells, but I'll tell you, I'm getting sick of hearing the spell chant. Like, turn up Bob. And it's like every 10 seconds, you're doing that same exact thing over and over and over again.
Yep.
especially because I sunk most of my points in a fireball. And
Oh.
yeah, I wanted to be a fire mage. I always wanted to be a fire mage. Fire's the best.
Do you have the final
yeah.
spells yet? Have you seen the final spells? Because I never saw those in my playthrough, just to see what they look like.
I've unlocked a couple of them. I have Meteor.
Does it look
and
cool?
It's not as impressive as I would like.
Oh, is it just like little? It's not like a big ass meteor.
No, it's not one big ass meteor. It's like an area of effect, and it goes boom, boom, so it can miss. It's like like this area of effect where meteors are dropping in that area, but they can miss the thing. Like I'd rather just do a fireball than because the fireball is like the whole area.
Yeah, yeah. With Code, did you use the cyclone ability at all? Was that pretty strong?
Oh yeah, yeah. At the end of the game, I was doing like a full melee build, and I could alpha for a huge amount of damage.
Okay,
like using the end ranger ability and cyclone and all
flurry
that
of
stuff.
blows or whatever. See, I didn't.
Yeah.
Is the gun build for me? Right click headshot for 60 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I was fine with because it slows down time, and like I hit for 3 to 4K when I crit. And then each time I hit him in the head, the stun bar goes up by half a bar. So it's 2 headshots and the stun's full, and then I hit him for 10K. So like, yeah, the final boss was like 5 hits because of how it was like really easy. But I enjoyed that aspect. I'm not complaining about the easiness. I was wanting to do that. That's why the build was that way. But I never used any of the big like level 20 abilities, 25 20 or 25, whatever level they are. I never utilized those because it was always just better to aim for the head. So I never saw a meteor or I never saw a cyclone or a flurry of blows or anything like that. But my choice at the end of the day. It's just, it didn't have the, there wasn't like that go-to ability for someone that was using guns. I suspect that they wanted you to have like a melee component to a ranged build so that you would like shoot, and then when the mob comes at you, you would bring out your melee weapons and like melee them. To me, I just dodged and headshot again. But mouse and keyboard, I think, allows for that a lot easier than a controller would. So, yeah.
No, I'm doing dual. Like fire is my bread and butter, but like I do a dual wield build just in case. So I have a wand with a fire book and a wand with an ice book.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, that makes sense.
When the situation calls for it, I whip out the ice.
Sure. Cool. That's Avowed, and probably we'll get some last thoughts from Zeke when he finishes it, but probably the last like deep dive that we'll do into it, unless there's a significant patch or something like that to bring it up.
Yeah.
Game news wise,
stuff is interesting.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff that's kind of happened the past 2 or 3 weeks. Not anything like groundbreaking. Did you guys watch the Death Stranding 2 trailer? Did that pop up at all? Okay.
No, I'm avoiding it.
You're avoiding it. Okay. Just
I'm avoiding it for
spoilers,
different
man.
reasons.
Yeah.
I'd like to see all that when I play it.
I didn't realize. I mean, saying I didn't realize that there's a group of people on the internet is a really silly, stupid statement because there's a group of people for everything on the internet these days. But if you have like a negative thing to say about Kojima, you better be fucking careful. Because they will get your ass. I got. Because there was, there's a line in the trailer that is like peak Kojima. It's something along the lines of, what?
Sorry, I forgot something. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. God damn it. It's something along the lines of like brain dead mothers with babies or something. And like they say it in like the first second or the first like minute of a trailer. Brain dead pregnant women. And I had to pause and just be like, oh yeah, right. That's what Death Stranding was about, is they had all these like pregnant women with the babies because and I just like laughed really hard at it. And because I laughed and like paused, I was like, people were calling me out on that because I wasn't taking it serious. And I'm like, come on, like, what do we do? I got some shit for laughing at the comment, brain dead, pregnant women, because it was just out of complete nowhere. So Yeah, that trailer's batshit as always. I could try to explain it to you, but it would none of it would make sense.
Why? Yeah.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, please don't. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've realized that half the fun of Kojima these days is just it's kind of the same as like when you see Dark Soul bosses.
Yeah.
Like Kojima, half the fun of Kojima is just visually seeing the crazy shit he's going to come up with.
Yes.
Which is why I didn't want to see that. Because I mean, for me, that's the fun is going to be getting all that in the game.
Yep. The trailer was good enough to where I was like, do I need to replay Death Stranding? And then I was like, no, I don't need to fucking do that. I don't need to fucking do that.
You didn't need to play it the first time.
There is the PC version though, and it is like 120 FPS, and that's kind of enticing because that game didn't run that great on PlayStation when it first came out. At least not 120 FPS.
And see all that hardcore walking at 144.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like,
yeah,
do I really want? Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
I might just watch like a trailer or a story synopsis to get back in because I had forgotten all the crazy shit in that game, and 2 looks to just expand on all of the craziness with the trailer. So yeah,
it's a good walking sim. It's a great walking sim. That's absolutely what it is. It's basically a walking sim. Like, and it does what it does great.
Yep. Yeah. What else happened in this past week? Kind of out of nowhere, and I'm curious if it was like an investor like before financial season's over. I don't know what it was. It seemed out of the blue. I'm very excited for it, but it seemed out of the blue. Space Marine 3 got announced to be officially in development. Hopefully it doesn't take 10 years like the prior one did.
I think the last one took a few years after they announced it.
Yeah, it was like 2 to 3 years.
And we got to keep in mind that now they don't have to like make the wheel from the ground up. Like they've already got a ton of the
that
stuff
is
they're
true.
gonna use for the second one.
Right. Yeah. I'm all for it. Don't believe me. Like, give me some more space, even if it's literally just the same engine and kind of the same combat. Just give me some more story
Okay,
stuff.
for just a couple minutes, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Even if it's just more of the same, I'll play the shit out of that. I love that story. It was fun just walking through there killing stuff. Your face says you don't agree, Zeke.
I'm one of those strange people that's a Kojima fan, but when he had like the studio restraints on him a little bit, he's a wild bronco. You can't tame him, but you can encase him in a bronco, like a stable, something like that. But like you let him run wild, this shit, nothing makes sense. It might look great, it might sound great, but nothing makes sense. It's hard to follow, and it's just, ugh.
I got you.
It's too art house, man. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. I need a more solid idea of what the fuck is happening, man.
It is,
and that's why Metal Gear. I liked Metal Gear because Metal Gear there was like a little bit of like maybe pull it back a little bit, maybe like put a saddle on that bronc a little bit. It was still fucking wild as shit. It was still like a lot of weird, wacky fucking stuff happened in the Metal Gear series. If you played it,
Yeah.
But like then I was like, okay, I think I understand Kojima now. I'm gonna do Death Stranding, and I picked it up and I was like, not only am I confused, but I'm bored and confused. So I don't want any part of this at all.
Yeah. Now that Ko's not here, I will say in the trailer, Zeke, there is a character. Also, disregard chat. We were talking about Warhammer, but I'm glad you brought this back to Death Stranding. In the trailer, there's a guy, he puts on a bandana, and he looks a little bit like Mr. Snake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's really fucking weird. And then it
is his name Snake Man?
No, I don't know. And then
or something like that.
There's a flash of light, and he's got a skull. And it's like a skull instead of his human. I don't know. It's a very weird thing. Yeah, it's literally the actor that Kojima said would make a good Snake that's playing this character in the game. Yeah. So I hope it's not like I don't know, Viper or some shit. I hope his name is not just completely one-to-one with Snake. That would be really silly.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
No, someone in chat said it, and I've been saying it for years. Like, Kojima sounds like a 14-year-old boy who got the reins, got the keys to the kingdom. He's like, what if the guy was like super huge and he had lightning for fingers, and then what if he had to carry a baby and he had to carry it in a glass jar like my mom did when she was pregnant with my little brother, and put it was in his stomach, but it was alive and did stuff? That would be cool. Like, god damn.
That's right. Yeah. Get all of Hollywood behind it. Zeke, I think you were the only one of us to play the new Silent Hill, right? You played not the new Silent Hill, the remake.
Silent Hill remake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a Silent Hill broadcast. It had a weird name this past week, where they announced Silent Hill F. Yeah. Yeah. This looks absolutely batshit crazy in all the best ways possible. I actually watched this thing and was kind of like, I think I might play that. Like, this might be scary as shit, but I kind of want to play that.
Is that that's a music term for like forte, right? Like the F of the Silent Hill F.
Oh,
that's what I took it as.
It might be.
But maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know, yeah. It's because it was said in Japan. Guys, cool it. That has nothing to do with why I was interested in playing this specific Silent Hill at all.
Oh,
but it is a cool place to have a Silent Hill. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, chat saying it's just an F. F is for fear. I don't know.
Yeah, you say that. But how many times have you been like going through a Silent Hill game, i.e. Silent Hill 2, and been like, what are these pictures, these Polaroids that I've been getting? What sense do they make? And it takes years for people to figure out what the fuck it actually means.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. But this looked really cool and creepy in all the like messed up ways that you would expect. Someone was saying that, I don't know if the director said this or where the exact thought came from. They were saying that this one's not going to like hold back, and they're going to go the distance in terms of the weirdness and the creepiness that I guess they couldn't in the past or something like that for Silent Hill. Which kind of confounds me because I thought they went really insane with Silent Hill in the past in terms of the creepiness and the weirdness of all. Oh, this one is the first one rated 18 plus. Okay. So it's a ratings thing. It already got an 18 plus rating in Japan. Got it. Okay. It looks nice and fucked up though. In all the ways you would want a Silent Hill to be. With a nice little, knife show here at the end. And then whatever this thing is on screen. Look at this. Everyone watch. That's her face. Looks really freaky. So
let me give you this the Steam warning. Ready? This game contains depictions of gender discrimination, child abuse, bullying, drug-induced hallucination, torture, and graphic violence. The game is set in Japan in the 1960s and contains depictions based on the customs and culture of that time. These depictions do not reflect the opinions or values of the developers or any individuals involved. Now, this is my favorite part. If you feel uncomfortable at any point while playing, please take a break from playing or speak to someone you trust. I like that last part. Or speak to someone you trust.
Yes. Speak to someone you trust. I agree. Quite silly, but speak to someone you trust. What else do we got in the news? We could talk Split Fiction, because Zeke and I have both played it, but there's also news around it. Already doing, I think, 2 million. It sold 1 million units in the first 48 hours, and in a week it sold 2 million units. So obviously it's doing quite well, and for good reason. Cody, do you have any? Are you good at? Did you ever play It Takes Two?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have any interest in checking out Split Fiction?
I may at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we cannot spoil it, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'll show. I'll put footage up on the screen from the very beginning of the game.
Cool.
I will go as far as to say though, like I can't speak for Zeke, but this will probably show back up on Game of the Year list. Like it's that good. And they're not doing anything like revolutionary. It's them just iterating kind of on the same process that they have done in their past games. But this one seems like the perfect refinement and distillation of like that core Haze Light experience of co-op that you want. And man, it is just fucking awesome. Like it's just fantastic from start to finish. And I couldn't even tell you what genre it is, except a co-op genre, because there really is like
I think it's co-op action, right?
It's action.
I
would
guess
say action.
There's like every type of game in it though. Like it literally changes every
Co-op
10
action
minutes.
Adventure.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you feel adventurous the entire time?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Boom.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that's a great point. Someone in my chat says that the game was so good that JP and the partner didn't troll each other by the end. Yeah. We started out and we were like, oh, we're going to troll you. We're going to like, by the end, we were so respectful of the game that we didn't want to just cause each other to die. We were just like, no, come on. You got to obviously do this, do that correct. And then that thing happens. And then it culminates in the perfect way at the end of the game to where Jaw was like, I didn't have anything to say. I was kind of speechless at the end of it. In all the best ways possible. So, Zeke, I'll pull up some footage of it here from your playthrough in the very early game. But yeah, any thoughts on Split Fiction?
Dude, I just echo everything you said. It's the thing that I really, really liked about this, like much more so, because it does at times, it feels like It Takes Two, because you're doing split screen co-op, you're doing stuff together, you're trying to accomplish goals together. But this just improves on it in every way. And it also is, as my wife said, you're not following around a couple on the verge of divorce, which is a bummer, dude. Like the whole game's kind of a bummer. This one has different stakes, and they're not like super depressing stakes like the whole way through. Like It Takes Two is like, are they gonna stay together? Are they gonna get divorced? Like, let's just have some wizards and dragons and shit, and let's have some sci-fi techno awesomeness over here. Yeah. Let's swap back and forth between these things and have a great time. And like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. Now, bearing that in mind, like there are definitely plot points and emotional moments and yada yada yada, of course. But it's you kind of let that go because you have to, because the stakes of the game itself are right in front of you. Like you are jumping from, like you're watching right now, you're jumping from metal beam to metal beam and shit like that, and you fall off and you can die and stuff like that. So those are the stakes that are important. And then the story beats happen in between those moments. And it's really, really great how they just like It Takes Two, how they incorporated all the stuff that you have to work together on. You have to figure out together. You have to you do this, I'll do this. We'll meet in the middle. We'll figure out how to get this gate opener, what have you. And it's very satisfying when you actually get you figure out how to do a puzzle together. Mm-hmm. And it takes communication too. It's beneficial for you to have vocal communication during playing this. I don't know, like it would be difficult if you're playing it the first time without having a voice chat going.
You have to have it. Yeah. It's
I would think,
especially for you could probably get through the beginning-ish of the game, but for some of that later stuff, it's you have to have communication. And I wouldn't even say you is like a baseline. I would say you have to have good communication, because there's certain things where if you communicate incorrectly or not fast enough, you can't progress through a lot of it. Like it requires some pretty good teamwork. And it also requires things where it's like the entire time that I'm doing it, I'm like, how the fuck are these people this smart? Like how do you conceive of what we're doing as a gameplay element? Because there's so many things that I'm just like, all right, that's genius, or that's so cool, or oh man, I love this. That's such an interesting aspect that they put in that I would have just never have thought about in my wildest dreams. And I've never seen some of this stuff in other games. I've seen different aspects of it in different, like very slight bits of it, but the full package, I've never seen this type of stuff before. Someone made the comment when I had finished, someone made the comment that this game couldn't exist without the 30 years of games before it. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that statement. Like they really do just borrow from everything. And that's why I think it's better than It Takes Two, because with It Takes Two, I felt like some stuff overstayed its welcome to where you were in the same area or you were doing the same thing for like a little bit too long. With this one, nothing overstays its welcome. In fact, most of the time we would move on too fast and I'd be like, no, I want to do more. That was so fun. I want to do more of that. And then it's just a completely brand new thing.
That was one of the weirdest things to comprehend for me, was like these huge, wonderfully detailed, like awesome set pieces.
Yes.
And you like fly by them in like a couple of minutes. And you're like, they made an entire fucking sky castle. I made up an example, but like,
yeah.
They made an entire fucking sky castle and we see it in the background. It's just like, okay, and we're past it. And they made the whole thing. Like some artist sweated over that thing forever. And it's just like, bye. We just swing past it on a vine or something, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot
of
crazy
where
the amount of just crazy shit that they throw in there that's on screen for like a split second. And you're like, man, that must have taken someone days, weeks to labor over. And we saw it for like a second. And that's everywhere. There's so many references in the game to different pop culture, to different other games, media. There's
Easter eggs.
There's Easter eggs. There's voice lines. There's like every achievement is a massive Easter egg in terms of what the achievement name is. Like it's just all over the place. You could tell that you talk a lot about passion in gamings and in games, and when you can tell that people have like a passion for what they're making, it just oozes out of this game. Every second of it. It really does. So.
And the funny thing is, with the premise of the game, it doesn't feel pandery because the main characters are writers.
Yes.
So you're like, okay, they're drawing from their lives, and it's kind of hard to take yourself out of your writing. So you're like, if you're a fan of, let's say, Princess Bride, which isn't in this, but say if you're a fan of Princess Bride and you see like a Princess Bride reference, you're like, oh, it's because she loves that movie and she found a way to put it in her fiction or whatever.
Right.
You know, that I kind of like that idea of it because it would feel pandery otherwise. You know, like it does in some games where it's like, oh, you're not giving a nod to this game. It's out of place, but whatever. But in this one, you're like, okay, I'll give it a pass for that. You know?
Right. And the other, by the way, or Zeke, this thing right here, for some reason, was the only thing that gave me trouble in the entire game. I don't know if it was like the jumping lock on, if it was my controller, but I did that like 10 times before I got through it. And it's the stupidest thing.
The up and downies?
Yeah. And there's no difficult, it's so simple. You just literally press A and walk forward. And it took me like 10 times and I was very pissed off about it. I don't know why it gave me so much pause. It was, I was like double jumping or something. I don't know. It's weird.
There were definitely a couple times where I was trying to do shit the hard way. And Katie was like, why don't you just jump on the wall and then jump over there? Because I didn't notice it. Yeah. That's why. Because it's right in front of my face and it's a big wall that says jump here. I'm not falling for that.
Right. Yeah. It was probably just simple misunderstanding on my part, but it was really, it was really absurd when it came to that. So,
but the other thing that it creates awesome moments, especially because you can see the other person's screen, and you're like, babe, it's no turn right. No, how are you not seeing this? It's right there. It's the big shiny thing. No, you went past it again. Like the cloud. No, not the cloud. It's in the tree. Which tree? That tree. You're looking at the tree. The tree you're looking at right now. Oh, that thing. Yes. Yeah. That thing.
I don't know if it was the same for you, but there was definitely a lot of like cheating off my neighbor's paper, where I would just like look over on the other screen to see how they got past something and be like, oh, I got it. Okay. I figured that out on my own.
Oh, yeah. That's what you meant. So you look clever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, oh, I totally understand what's going on. I didn't have to look at your screen. I just know. I just get it.
Yeah.
One thing that definitely bears mentioning, and I think it bears mentioning every time a game does this, is only one person has to own the game, even if you're playing from like it's not just couch co-op. Like you can do. There's a friend pass thing or guest pass, excuse me.
Yep.
Guest pass that is becoming hopefully more and more commonplace, where you download a smaller version of the game and you can just play. Like the game itself is like, it's fucking huge. It's like 80, 90 gigabytes or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. Let's see.
Maybe it's 70 something, but it's big. But the guest pass version of the game is like 3.8 gigabytes.
Yeah. It's 88
so the other person, 88. There you go. Yeah. Jesus. So the guest pass version is like the person goes to the Steam page, just gets the free version for 3.8 gigabytes. And then you can play with each other. And there's no like, I will say though, we did start playing from my Steam to the PS5. And there was some lag. There was definitely some lag issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Steam to Steam, nothing, zero lag.
Okay.
But like Steam to PS5, there was a little bit of, but the fact that they do cross-platform is still pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It was wild on, is it? Oh, I don't know if it's happening on yours. Let me skip ahead to like gameplay. Does it? Well, at least what I was trying to reference was I was using an Xbox controller. The person I was playing with was using a PlayStation, and it was wild seeing like press circle and press X, or sorry, press A or press B, like the different controller iconography on the screen. I'd never seen that before, and it kind of threw me for a loop when it first happened. But it's cool that exists.
Those double levers or whatever. He's like, come up and press A, and you press X. And it's like, oh, because they're on because she was on a PlayStation controller. Exactly what happened. Yeah.
It was really cool with that. Full thing's voice acted. There's, I don't think, any unvoice acted stuff.
Oh shit, Draka, you're right. Sorry.
What's that?
I said it was 3.8 for the guest pass version, but that was Midnight Murder Club. I don't know how much it is. How many gigs the?
Oh, I think it's probably like 81 still. Yeah, it's probably still the same size of the full game for this. Yeah, full thing's voice acted. I think, is it 20? What's it cost base? Oh, it's $50 for the base, but you only need to buy it once, like Zeke was saying. I don't think there's anything else. Just, you should probably play this game. Hardest part about that, obviously, is you got to have someone else to play it with. And I think that's where a lot of folk are disinterested in it, because you have to have another person to play with. You can't solo your way through this. I mean, I guess you could technically if you have like a PlayStation and a PC and you use both controllers, but there's no fun in that. That takes away the entirety of the game. So,
yeah, I don't know. Do you remember there being difficulty settings? Because I don't know how you could.
No, there's not.
Finish the game with one person, two controllers, without being like, super dexterous with your hands and feet, possibly.
Yeah, there's probably like a GDQ run where like one person will finish this.
Oh yeah. You're right. There will be,
some
one
sort
person,
of
two
thing
character
for that.
runs.
Yeah. So
if Miss Mika doesn't do a controller for one character and dance pad for another, I don't even know why she streams.
Yeah,
I agree.
Fair enough.
I agree. Yeah, put that out there in the world. We need to see that playthrough. Although I think they already did a sponsored stream of it. So maybe she can't do another playthrough. Yeah.
And something I wanted to mention is being that this is a co-op only game, they're very, very kind and generous with the checkpoints.
Yes.
The checkpoints within the game and the checkpoints even within certain battles. Like there's definitely like checkpoints throughout. So like if if you're of like vastly different skill levels, you can still probably get through it with enough tries.
Yeah, I would say so. Someone in my chat just pointed out, Hallelbin said they have a Discord for the game, like an official Discord, and it has a section to find partners to play with. I didn't know that, so
that's cool.
Yeah, if you're looking, because there's no matchmaking or anything in the game, but if you're looking for people, maybe go check out their Discord. Might be a good way to jump into it. So, story, we covered a little bit of it. It has its touching moments for sure, but at the end of the day, it's not groundbreaking or anything. It's just a fun story to dive into. Yeah. You're really diving into it for the gameplay aspect. So, yeah, definitely check it out.
You're absolutely right. There's not a ton of subtlety, subtext, that kind of stuff. There's some stuff that you can mysteries, little mysteries here and there to figure out, like, oh, why does she not want to talk about this, or why blah 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 blah. There's a little bit here and there, and I will say it's a simple story, but it's not ham-fisted, meaning like they're not trying to beat you over the head with anything. It's like a simple story can still be a fun story to listen to. It doesn't have to have these grandiose like twists and turns and that kind of stuff. It's a pretty straightforward story, but it's a good story.
Yes. Yep. Cool. That's Split Fiction. You should play it. You get Lena to play her, or your other wife Barry. Could also,
there we go.
Yeah, could also be a great partner with that. What else have we been playing, or what else is news related? I can keep scrolling through news. Wasn't there, chat? What are some of the big news stories of the past? Because we haven't had a show in. This is 2 weeks. So this is week 3. There's been some stuff that's happened that we haven't really commented on, I don't think. But the way the news cycle is these days is that it goes so quick. Oh, the Oblivion remake. Ko, what do you know about that? Have you gone over all of that?
I just heard a leak that apparently they're going to announce next month and then release in a very short window.
Okay.
That's about everything that I know.
Okay.
And it's just leaks, so who knows if it's actually true or not.
Yeah. When it says remake, is it just like an upscaled version of that game? Okay.
That's literally all I know. I'm not looking too much into it, since these are, we've heard all sorts of rumors like this over the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Of various ways that Bethesda could make a whole bunch of easy money. So this is definitely one of them. And I mean, we've been waiting for remakes of these games for a while, really. So.
Got it. Chat's saying that the big thing is that it's Unreal Engine 5 running on top of the Oblivion one. So is that going
to mess with Skyblivion and Skywind? Probably completely. It's going to be on the old one. I'm guessing probably not the new one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with all of that.
And after Fallout 4 VR, we'll have to see if this thing is even going to work.
Oh God.
Like it's really interesting because you have to think, one of the things that makes Bethesda games is a creation engine.
Right.
Like, all the different items and simulating everything at once. And are they really going to just bring that over into Unreal? Because that's the whole argument for Bethesda not switching engines, is so all that stuff works in creation. So the premise that they're just going to port Oblivion to Unreal, we'll see how that goes.
Wait, don't they just have to pick up the numbers and drop them in the new?
You just copy paste the file. I think you Control C in Creation Engine, and then you open up Unreal and you Control V, and it just.
Yeah, you guys.
Wait a minute. You don't do right click copy, right click paste.
You can.
There's a shortcut for that.
Us elite hackers like to use the keyboard commands.
What else haven't they told me?
I think wait until you find out about Control X.
I think we need to get the two of you and Todd into the same room, and you guys could let them know all that. It might be beneficial. Yeah.
Dude, what's going to be hilarious is imagine if a video comes out from the Oblivion meme remake to Oblivion, and it's like Avowed versus Skyrim, where it's you used to be able to do all this stuff in Obsidian, and now look, none of it works. What is this bullshit?
Oh my God. Jesus.
Oh man.
Yeah. We passed a hey, you're old date over the past week on March 10th. It was Chrono Trigger's.
Last one yesterday.
Oh, God. What was yesterday? March 10th was Chrono Trigger's 30th anniversary.
Kid is 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. For me,
that makes me feel way too old.
Chrono Trigger hitting 30-year anniversary.
30? 30?
30, Co. That makes me feel really fucking old.
How have we not gotten a remake of that game?
I don't mean to downplay your kid, Co.
No.
That's 30 years old.
30 years is a long time. No, I'm not arguing. That's a long time. Yep, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's wild. There was a celebration post on the official Twitter account, and Square Enix said, quote, that users can look forward to various developments that go beyond the world of the game throughout the next year. So a lot of people are like, what does that mean? What are they doing? And it's probably nothing. But man, I would love like a 2.5.
We're bringing in the Fallout 76 Battle Pass and private servers. Check out the new Oblivion Cash Shop.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Wait.
It's probably going to be all Japanese exclusive merch. Yeah, I agree, Bonta.
We've done away with Oblivion Sandbox and added in the new Bethesda progressional creation engine.
Jesus.
Procedural everywhere.
Jesus.
Didn't like those.
What else do we got going on? There was the No Rest for the Wicked, Wicked Inside Showcase 2, where they showed a big update coming for the game, and also the fact that they're now like independent. Moon Studio is
good for them, man.
Is independent now, and they couldn't talk about it for a while, so that's why they were kind of quiet about everything. But yeah, they are no longer with, I forget the former publishers, Private Division.
Private Division.
Yeah, because Private Division
they got
closed. They got sold. That's what it was.
Sold. Like a lot of them got fired, and I think the stuff got sold.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, so they put out about a 25-minute video where they talked about the Breach update and kind of
a lot of great changes.
Talked about all the quality of life and all the stuff that's coming next and all of that cool stuff, which is great because that game was in a good place when I played it when it first announced its early access. I don't know if they're officially calling it that, but whatever
it's
that
early
game
access
launched
on Steam.
Okay.
Yeah. April 18th of last year.
It was in a great place then, so excited to see where that game goes. What else is happening? Assassin's Creed Shadows finally comes out this week. Someone
in my chat said something about that. They're like, and I think they actually put Psy.
Really?
Like asterisk Psy, asterisk Psy. Are you going to play Assassin's Creed? And I said, man, fuck no. And he goes, nobody is.
I don't think that's true.
None of my favorite streamers are going to be playing Assassin's Creed.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, they will be.
Yeah, I'm playing it. I'm excited for it.
Are you, JP? Okay. Well, there you go. Whoever said it, there
again, I feel like we've had this I've played every mainline Assassin's Creed that's come out. And for better or worse, I've finished them. I didn't finish Mirage. Mirage was the only one I didn't finish, but I felt like that was such a departure from like modern day, I guess, Assassin's Creed that I wanted that like the Odyssey and all of that type of stuff. It was I don't know. It was a different thing. So hopefully it's not as long as Valhalla. That was my only issue with Valhalla, is that game was like 100+ hours long or some crazy shit. And it didn't change much throughout it. So I think that's Tuesday is when reviews open up and embargoes drop, and then it's out everywhere else on Thursday. Open to the public, I should say. But it's finally coming out after 2 delays, I think. Three delays, something like that. We'll see. We'll see how it is. I saw one person, Tom Henderson, kind of industry insider, who got access to it, or sorry, who didn't have access to it, but he had a bunch of people that were playing it and was saying that it's going to do like an 80 to 90-ish Metacritic. So I think if that happens, you'll see a bunch of like raised eyebrows upon the gaming journalism outfit until people can actually get their hands on it. So I don't know. Should be a busy week for that game, regardless of if you're interested in it or not. Everyone's probably going to be talking about it and going over it. What else is happening in the world of video games? BlizzCon is back, but not this year. It's coming back in 2026. They're skipping 2025, which good. If you don't have anything to show, don't just do a show. Like if
what time of year does that usually happen? Like what month?
Fallish is usually when it goes down. No, it's summer. BlizzCon, is it November or summer for BlizzCon? I thought it was November. Normally beginning of November. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 2026 is when they'll be back. I'm assuming in the Anaheim Convention Center where they've always been, hopefully with actual stuff to show, which is why they're skipping 2025. Oh yeah. So there's like, I wouldn't say that it's, I don't know if it's, I guess maybe all drama is fan-made drama, but the drama is Path of Exile 2 announced that they are doing a reveal and a big patch update, which will have, I think, the newest class. I think they're going to have Ranger in the big update. And it's happening 2 days after, or maybe 2 days before. There's a 2-day period. Huntress, not Ranger. Thank you, chat. Is the new class. It's happening right around the time that Last Epoch, which is another ARPG, is pushing their big update. And the community is a little bit upset at GGG because Last Epoch had already announced their date. GGG announced that they're doing their thing right around the same time. People are a little bit peeved because obviously when it comes to ARPGs, you got a bunch of different options out there, and now they're both launching on kind of the same exact week. Which I don't know. I guess being around Blizzard, I've just realized that like this happens a lot. And so it's a thing, but maybe that's a sad excuse for them putting it out when they do.
They don't have to, but it of course would be nice for the players if those companies would talk to each other about that stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's
it'd be nice, but I mean it's business and it's money, so it's whatever. Like GGG doesn't, their blinders are on. They probably don't even care. They probably didn't even know that Ellie was coming out when they did that, to be honest. So
yeah,
that date was probably in planning for months before they announced it.
Yeah. I would agree. And as chat's pointing out, it's definitely going to be rougher on Last Epoch than it will be on PoE 2. PoE 2's numbers.
And for the record, if they were really trying to screw LE2 or Last Epoch, they would have done it 2 days before, not after.
Yeah,
like if they were trying,
people in chat were like,
yeah, sure. I bet they, no, if they were trying to mess with them, they would have done it. They would have released PoE 2 before. That would have sunk LE. It would have sunk them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think it's anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's malicious, but it definitely will hurt Last Epoch in the grand scheme of things. So, community's a little bit peeved about that at GGG, which isn't anything new. The community is that's a love-hate.
I was gonna say they've had a bit of a last half year. Yeah, there's been a lot of hot button issues.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. Great way to put it. God, Rainbow Six Siege, that's right. They celebrated 10 years with the Rainbow Six Siege X reveal, which I think is playable out there right now, which is still crazy. That game's 10 years old. That blows my mind. I'm just kind of scrolling. Let's talk about, because Ko and I have both played it. It's a little bit in the news as they've started to put out character trailers, and we're coming up on release in April. Expedition 33 had kind of a big creator slash journalist preview of the game that was like 3.5 hours. I think it took me about 3.5 hours. I don't know, Ko, you're probably on the same
Yeah, 3.5, 340, I think was mine.
Yeah, yeah. I'll pull up some of the footage. There's no spoilers in it because, well, there's very little spoilers in it. You don't think so?
I think the whole thing's a massive spoiler because it takes place. It takes place in not at the beginning of the game.
I feel like that there was so little actual story elements in the game. I mean, I guess it's a spoiler because it moves.
It all depends on what you. If a spoiler is seeing the enemies, the world, and possibly learning a little bit about them, it's a massive spoiler. If your spoiler is learning about the characters and the main story, there's not really any of that. So, and I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes, that was definitely on purpose. If you've seen the trailers, though, nothing should really come as a surprise to you. But anyways, I won't show any footage for that very reason. It will be loose in what we're talking about it. But anyways, in short, I absolutely loved it. I'm definitely going to be playing that game. I do hope that they fine-tune a couple of the graphic settings and work through all of that stuff. Specifically like the motion blur so that I can turn post-processing up and not put it on low to remove the motion blur in the game. I'm sure it's just a very simple fix, but overall, Expedition 33 is looking to be pretty fun and a pretty awesome experience all in all. I liked all the voice acting, the moments where there was actual voice acting and like story elements fleshed out. I was very intrigued in everything that was happening because it's fucking Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil, with other very talented voice actors.
Ben Starr's in there.
Ben Starr's in there. Charlie Cox is in there. Shadowheart's in there. Gollum, Andy Serkis is in there.
Oh,
yeah. It's
star-studded
cast.
Couple quick things. First of all, my quick notes on it, phenomenal. I loved the world. The mechanics seemed very cool. In the very short amount of time I played, I was already making builds and stuff, which seemed really interesting. I kind of like how the Lumina system works and everything. Looks like there's going to be a lot of variance in styles and builds, which is fun, especially if you keep getting the weapons and also various different ways to level up. The story seems interesting. It's kind of a French take. There was that Italian Souls-like that was kind of like a brighter take on Souls-likes. I feel like this is not that, but it is kind of like a French artistic take on JRPGs. Like there's a lot of theater influence in this, which is interesting, and a lot of like artistic influence, and they're definitely like leaning into that heavily. But what I will say is, outside of the lip syncing, which was not impressive, everything else was pretty great.
Yeah.
Also, somebody said, I watched a YouTube. Yeah, No Trio was the name of the game. Somebody said, I watched a YouTuber claim he did the whole demo on the hardest with only the main character. Really deflated my interest. So here's what's interesting. I played this on the hardest difficulty as well.
Yep, same.
And as I think a lot of people did. This game, weirdly enough, on the hardest difficulty, is not a hard JRPG. This game on the hardest difficulty is a JRPG with a hard timing minigame mechanic that you have to master in order to do hardest difficulty. So the thing that makes hard is because of the way the combat system works. And what that is there's 3 different timing mechanics. 4, actually. There's jumping, there's dodging, there's counterattacking and /parrying, and there's attacking. And you have to basically, especially the defensive ones, the jumping especially, you have to nail those on the hardest difficulty. If you do, if you're really good at timing games, people watching you will think the game looks too easy.
Yes.
Because I got that over and over and over. Every time I get to a new mob, like especially in the second area, I'd take a few hits learning to do it. You'd have to learn their attacks a little bit, get the timing down. But then once you get the timing down, the enemies only have like 2 or 3 sets of moves. So once you get the timing down, then you're pretty much good. You're good to go. But if you miss one of those timings on the hardest difficulty, a normal enemy is going to hit you for over half your life. So that's kind of where it is. It's an interesting take on difficulty, because when you select very hard in a game like this, you most of the time assume like the RPG sides of it are going to get very hard. And they might. Maybe the enemies get more HP, maybe do less damage, I'm not sure. But all they clearly state is like the timing stuff gets a lot tighter. So, yeah. It's going to kind of put the whole difficulty discussion into a bit of an interesting territory with this game, since the game relies so heavily on the timing mechanics.
Yeah.
Which you can, by the way, you can automate.
Totally.
Full disclosure. You can just turn that off if you don't want to do that. So you can play it on hardest difficulty and not deal with the timing stuff if you don't want to.
Yep.
Oh, final thing I'll shout out. This is a really good point. There's also a very good chance that since we were playing a preview version, that the difficulty was doctored. That's common.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for
very
sure.
Common.
Yeah, my biggest thing is after playing Metaphor for 80 hours or whatever it was, one of my favorite parts, we even touted it when the three of us talked about on the show, was the ability to hit start and restart the battle.
Oh, dude, I looked for that at one point.
Yeah.
At one point, I missed a jump on an enemy, and he hit my team 3 times, and I was just sitting there, and I paused it, and I noticed that it wasn't Metaphor, and I was like, maybe I should just quit. Like there was this second where I was like, I should just quit and reload. That is such a good feature, man.
I really miss that feature because, like Ko was saying, the hardest part about this game is the timings, and when you go into a fight, they purposefully do the thing where it animates and they like do feints with the animation of what you're actually going to be parrying and blocking and jumping and all that shit.
Yeah, dude.
So you're going to miss like most of the time on the first go.
There was one enemy that's specific. I don't know if did you find the mime and fight the mime?
Yeah, I found all the mobs.
Yeah, like that guy definitely gave me some trouble because I didn't realize that you basically had to fill up his stagger bar. There's nothing else you can do. So yeah, learning his attack patterns and stuff was a trip.
Yeah.
And then there's this one enemy towards the end that drove me crazy because he does a jump, but you can't jump it. You have to parry it. I don't know if you got to that guy. I died like 4 times.
Was that the big guy? The big guy?
Yep. I could not jump over any of his stuff. Like he would do the 3 hits, he'd jump up and then go doosh, 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 and each one would do like 100 damage. I couldn't jump a single one of those. The only thing I could do was parry it. Very weird. And also, weirdly enough, that was the only fight in mine that didn't show the jump. This camera would zoom out and he would start jumping, but it wouldn't show in the middle of the screen jump like it normally does. So I wonder if it was bugged or something. I don't know, but
I don't know. Maybe I did just parry that because I did not have that. Once I fought that guy a bunch.
Yeah.
That was the hardest fight for me. That big guy took like 5 or 6 attempts, and if I got hit once, I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just restarting." Like, just go back to the save, and but it was awesome. It also, we were talking about like spoilers. There was so little story in the demo that I was like, "What? I want to know what's happening." Like, I'm so intrigued by the stuff that they did show that I didn't have any reason for it. I was like, well, this is awesome. Like, I need to know. Also,
not only full voice acting, but they voice acted like the logs that you find.
Yes.
From the voices of the people in the logs. That is, I love so much when games do that. That is so much more immersive.
Yeah.
That's what will actually get me to listen to every single log you have in your game. Like, if you put voice acting on it, I will listen to that voice acting. Yep. So it's like, even if I'm not interested, I will hear it at least once.
Yep. It looks very mature in theme.
Is it AI voice acting? No, nothing in this game feels AI at all.
Not at all.
It is very, and it's a bunch of big names too. This is a big game.
Yes, and then last but not least, the music. Even from the menu in the very beginning of the game, if you just let
the UI,
play.
it's the UI in general,
and the UI,
the whole presentation. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
This is the most Atlas non-Atlas game I've seen.
Yeah.
In terms of UI, like it actually, in some ways, to put it, and I was talking about this a little on stream. In a little way, like I feel like this game out Atlas a bit. And the reason I say that is because their UI is incredibly stylized, but especially like even in Metaphor, there were times when I was like, this is almost too busy. Like there are times when the UI was like, I was like, you're trying almost a little too hard. Like it looks like I'm looking at a painting, not a menu at this point. But I will say that I had no issue finding exactly what I was doing in Clair Obscura. The only thing I didn't really like is that they make you hit an extra button to go to your second set of 6 abilities. That's a little weird. So you have to have like 2 keystrokes to always get to your second set. I feel like that could have been done better.
Sure.
But outside of that, like super, super solid.
Yeah. I'm excited
Can't
for
wait
it.
to play it. Yeah. Can't wait.
It'll be what seems to be a fantastic playthrough. They're also touting like 30-ish hours. It's also only $45 on PC. It will be in Game Pass. So
price is right. Length is right. They're saying a normal playthrough will be 30 to 35 hours.
Okay.
But there will be additional content. I think they set up to 50 or so.
Got it.
And even though the game is relatively linear, there's still a lot of like, it's kind of that kind of linear where there's a lot of little offshoots if you look around. So even though it is a pretty straight shot, you're going to be going pretty slow, constantly looking left and right and going down paths and getting extra loot and things like that.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of like hidden loot. Hidden loot with parentheses around it. So.
And some of it was like, really could fine tune builds. Yeah, I had a gun build towards the end where I basically piled all the passives for the gun shooting.
Oh yeah.
And my gunshot had a chance to mark them for extra damage, set them on fire. If I killed them with the gunshot, I got 3 AP back.
Oh,
so
wow,
I literally, like, a group of 3 enemies would come up, my dude with the gun would come out and go, bang, 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 dead. Bang, 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 dead. Bang, 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 on fire. And then he does a normal attack and kills them since they were marked. And it's just like, okay.
Nice.
America, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the America build. Absolutely.
So it does look like build customization and variety. If we keep getting those things at the rate we were getting them in the preview, like, we're going to have a huge amount by the end of the game. Going to be very interesting to see what we can come up with.
Absolutely. It was a good time. Looking forward to that in the back half of April. I think April 23rd is when that was coming out, something like that. It'll be a good time. Zeke, you'll definitely be playing it off stream, I think.
Unless you want to play it on stream. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Like,
just saying, this may be a good on-stream game for you, Zeke. I mean, it's gorgeous to look at, and it's not that long, so it may be a good one.
Yeah.
No, I've had it wish listed for a while since the first trailer I saw, probably.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else?
Do you have somewhere you'd like to go? Because I do.
What?
Do you have somewhere you'd like to take us on this episode?
I
have a place I'd like to go.
Oh shit! Also, previous game, I did look it up. Yes, it's day 1 Game Pass.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Even better. Even better.
Yeah. I was so confused what God was asking. I was like,
want to go get a pizza, JP?
You want me to like
end the
leave?
show?
Do you want to like? Do you have somewhere to go? Like, what?
I'm kind of bored. You want to go get some pizza? Zeke, you want to come? We could go get a pie.
Yes.
Want to go get a pie?
Let's go get a pie. I missed Pie Day. Let's go get a pie.
I would love to see what my face looked like when you asked that, because I'm pretty sure I was like.
Yeah, you definitely. You made a face that definitely made me go, what did I just say? did I say that right?
Where do you want to take the show, Kel? What's going on?
What I would love to know is what the hell R.E.P.O is, because I have not touched that game, and I'd love to play it, and I don't know. In fact, do you guys want to play tomorrow?
Yeah, we were talking about setting that up, and Zeke, do you want to play R.E.P.O? Because if so, that's 3, and then we just need 3 more. Oh, tomorrow's your day off.
Yeah, tomorrow's my day off, but I just won't stream. What time? Because I play video games on my day off.
We could do 1 p.m. Eastern. Does that work for you?
You want to do it the regular time? Sure.
Yeah.
I could do a KCD 2 morning and then a R.E.P.O afternoon.
We'll bring. You said Elo wanted to play.
Elo was interested in playing, and I've had countless. Oh God, probably up to 10 people ping me on this. So if we need more, just let me know. I can send out. I mean, feel free to invite. I know like Strippin's really into it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Max said that he was in. Gassy Mexican said he was in.
Perfect.
And then
there you go, right there.
I'll talk to Strippin as well.
I'll shoot Elo a message right now.
Yeah. I will do the same to Strippin.
Well, that's great. Okay, well, we'll try R.E.P.O tomorrow. But anyway, tell me about it. So I've heard Lethal Company 2 is what I've kind of been flirting with.
So it's let me pull this up here, and also let me actually get the game title up on the screen. I didn't do it because it would have showed it was process chat. I apologize for not having it up on the screen to begin with, but R.E.P.O is essentially exactly what you just said. Lethal Company 2 is a great way to put it, and it really is it's the perfect like culmination and the perfect iteration of everything that you played Lethal Company for to begin with. All of everything around it is just the best thing about Lethal Company, with more things in it that really make you interested in playing it. This is kind of an interesting example that I'm showing here. But that's a drone that you can put on enemies, and then it makes them roll and spin around. Wasn't super effective on this guy. Let me actually get to some more interesting gameplay here as we get.
So the loop is the same. It's you start with a group, you all go in and split up, you get items, you bring them back to your ship.
Kinda. So you see that thing right there, the little cart. So you have a cart that you can bring anywhere in the mission that you want, right?
Okay.
And anything that you pick up, which can range, there's only certain items that you can pick up, but it ranges from like a vase to a diamond to huge objects to very little tiny like plates. However, the thing that in Lethal Company, you would just grab that stuff and go. You would grab like what, 4 of those things and go. And this one, when you grab something, if you turn too quickly and run into anything in the environment, depending on the speed and the inertia behind that, it'll break.
You can break it? Oh.
But it'll also just like drop money. It'll be like, oh, you nicked that wall. That is minus 400 on that item.
I dropped into your stream
Yeah.
for 3 minutes when you were playing this.
Oh,
I
God.
quickly decided I didn't want to get spoiled. But I now realize what in the 3 minutes, all you were doing was berating someone for breaking stuff. You were just like, I saw you break it. And she was like, no, I don't think I saw you break it. You definitely broke it. Yo, did you see her break it? Yeah, I saw her break it. I told you broke it. And she was just like, but I didn't break it. So I guess that's what that was.
Yep, that sounds very much like something I would do. So it has use in-game VoIP. And the reason you use in-game VoIP is all the little characters talk like Canadians in South Park. And it expands on it. No. It expands on it because if you whisper, then the voice just goes like that. The mouth goes like that. But if you yell, then the voice goes like that. Like the character goes like that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And when they run like the models and the animation of all of it is perfect. And the other thing that is maybe the best part of it, and maybe why the game is so funny and so much fun to play, when you talk in game, the character's eyes automatically go to who is talking.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they follow around and like look around whenever someone's speaking. So if the creature that's in the room with you detects upon sound, then you can kind of like crouch and hide in a corner. And if you speak, everyone in the room that you can see, their eyes will all like immediately dart to you, as if like, shut the fuck up, like you're gonna get us in trouble type deal. So it's awesome.
Like that puppet monkey meme where it's like,
yes, it's exactly like that. And it's funny too, because when you call people out in game with the VoIP, you can be like, did you break that? And then they'll like look at you, and then their eyes will go back to normal in the default state. And then they'll speak and it'll just be like, no. So like, it's really funny. It's really funny in that regard. Not only is the in-game VoIP really good, there's also text to speech. So you can type whatever and your character will say it basically in text to speech. And that's really funny because you can basically just have them do, full dialogue sequences with it, and it's very hilarious. Objects will also mess with your voice, and you can also pitch your voice. If you look up with an item or look down, it'll pitch it higher or pitch it lower. Just small shit like that. We're using mods in this. That's why all of our characters have like a mustache or a cigar or something like that. But you don't have to. That's all added stuff.
Chat said we should also ping Anthony for tomorrow. That's a great call.
Yeah. If some, I think we already have 6. So chat, don't go promising.
Oh, never mind. Oh,
don't go promising to other broadcasters, chat. But if not, we could definitely bring him in.
We can forget about bringing Anthony. I remember I still have bad memories of playing that streamer filming game. I can't remember the name of that was.
What was that?
I wasn't a part of that.
You made the videos.
Yeah, I
motherfucker
played
tried
that,
to leave
but it
me
wasn't
behind
a
on that planet twice. I still have clips of that shit. Where he's like, hey, I think I left my camera out there. Better go get it, Zeke. And I'm like, okay, I'll go get it. And then he takes off in the rocket. And I'm like,
yeah. So that's another thing.
Content warning.
Content warning. Thank you. Yeah.
This game, so you can see like that thing. Well, I won't say what that thing is because that's fun when you first find it. But see how it says 0-2 on the screen? As you progress through the levels, and I've only been up to level like 8 or 9, each level gets longer and longer. So you have to hit that quota of 16,000 by putting it in the chest or bringing stuff back to the original. And once you do that, another one opens in the map. and then you have to collect that much and go and bring the cart to it. And it kind of just expands on that. And then that money gets brought into the shop, and you can get different upgrades. And there's upgrades where you can get beacons where it's like, it attaches I think it's called like featherweight. And so it makes anything that you attach that cube to very light. So if there's like a 2-man moving operation, a giant crate or something that you have to have 2 people, you attach that to it, and then you can just pick it up on your own, and you're good to go. There's one where it makes it indestructible. So you put the cube on it, and it makes whatever you're carrying indestructible, so you don't have to worry about breaking it. That stuff is very valuable as you get further into the game, obviously. But there's also like melee weapons, there's guns, there's bats. That's to obviously combat what you're seeing on the screen right here. And it's just like a super fleshed out, better, more realized Lethal Company. And the devs seem super competent when it comes to like what made that whole process fun. And it's just better in all ways possible. 6-person, I think by default is the max. You can mod it in and remove that limit. We were playing with like 8 the other day. It didn't really break the gameplay of it all. You can definitely play for fun. You can also try hard it if you want and see how far you can get. Once you get to those later levels, the number of enemies and the number of just things that you interact with gets very hard and very large numbers. So instead of just like one of those guys you just saw walking around, there could be 5 of those guys that respawn constantly. And it changes the game a lot in that regard, but you don't have to like try hard to get to all that. It does the full thing, just like in Lethal Company. When you die, you get put to a lobby. You get to be respawned in the game when you complete a checkpoint. If you go and find the person that died, if you go and find their head and put them in the respawn point, then they'll come back mid-mission, which is great. So you're not just completely out for the entire time. That aspect of it is really, really good. But also just shooting the shit and like watching whoever's still alive play also is a great time. Yeah, I think that's kind of it without going into the specifics, and I won't do that because that's part of the fun of the game, is learning all the different small things and then encounters and all that stuff. That's a person's head right there that we're trying to res, but it's not getting into the actual aspect of it. And then that person died as they were trying to put it in there. So I think that's it. It's just a good time. It really is like evolution of the Lethal Company games, and I hope that they continue adding to it. It seems like a rather small team that kind of caught fire.
There's actually a PC Gamer article from 2 hours ago talking about the first update. They're
really
fixing a bucket that covers a duck, apparently.
Okay.
They're adding a new map called the Museum. There's new QOL stuff coming. Like they're putting borders around, visual borders around the extraction points, so you can clearly see if an item's out of bounds.
Oh, nice.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
they're also working on public lobbies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So public lobbies are on the way, but it does sound like it may take a bit for Semi work to roll out the feature.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's very good. God, it's also just complete mayhem. Like you get in there on your first time and shit can go bad very, very quickly. If a monster like runs up to the cart, depending on what that monster is, it can just take everything in the cart and just destroy it. And you just see like dollar signs dropping all over, and adds to that. You mentioned the levels, or that they're going to add another level. I've played 10 hours of it. I've played, yeah, just shy of 10 hours, and I'm not tired of the levels. I'm not like, I don't know the like repeats or the spawns or anything of the levels. It's always just kind of fresh. I think I've seen all the monsters. I don't know how to deal with all of them yet, though, or with 10 hours played. So someone like Anthony, who I think has been pushing how many levels they can get up to, will definitely know all that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you can play it 2 ways. You can play it for fun, or you can play it to see how far you can get, which is also fun. So
I've seen a few streamers doing solo runs.
Yeah, you can play with like smaller amounts of people. You don't have to go in there with 6. And in a lot of ways, that might be better because you don't have people that are just like picking up a diamond and like throwing it up in the air type deal, which will break very easily, which also doesn't make much sense when you think about how hard diamonds are supposed to be. But anyways, it doesn't matter too much about that. We'll definitely be playing it tomorrow, it sounds like. So if you want to see us play it in action, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, with at least the 3 of us, and maybe Gassy, maybe Strippin, maybe Yellow, maybe Anthony. I don't know.
Heck yeah.
I don't know who all's going to be there besides the 3 of us. So that's R.E.P.O. It's basically just, like you said, Lethal Company 2.0 in all the best ways possible. It's a really good time. Cool. That's R.E.P.O. What else? What else you guys been playing? Co, where do you want to go?
I already took a step. That's what we just did.
I know. I'm just throwing it back to you.
Well, I played and finished Pirate Yakuza.
Oh, let's hear about that.
That's my next step.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Yeah. It's great. Next game.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah, no. I've played so many of these goddamn games. Like, I don't even know how many there are anymore. Like, full length, Like a Dragon Yakuza games. God. But it's more of that. If you like those, you'll like this.
Okay.
I will say, like, this one in particular, I have the last few Like a Dragon games that I've played on stream, I've started doing the English voiceover. And I'll tell you, this one hurt the most. Because not because it was Matt Mercer, because Matt Mercer does a fine job. Okay. He does a fine job playing Majima. But Majima is one of those characters, one of those voices that is, man, it's imitated, but it's hard to duplicate. You know, the Japanese voice actor's inflection, because Majima is such a, like, he's the mad dog of Shimano, right? He's a crazy, wacky dude. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to copy that crazy wackiness if you're not the person doing it. You know, it's like, man, I'm going to date myself here, but anyone remember Bobcat Goldthwait?
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, his speech patterns and stuff, like, you can copy it, but there's only one Bobcat, you know? There's only one Bobcat Goldthwait. Like, it's same with Majima. It's like, you can try, but it still feels off. You know, it's like skim milk. You're like, it's not milk.
It's funny you say that, Zeke, because I did a 2-hour preview for the game, a 2-hour sponsored look, and I did it in English. And when I finished, like, and again, you said exactly how I felt about it. I got nothing against Matt, but like with Kiryu, going from Kiryu from Japanese to English, it was very different. But Kiryu's voice is pretty like stoic. You say a line and you end, and then you say a line and you end, and then you say like once you get, like, he's got a very easily reproducible speech pattern. Although you may not nail the timbre in the voice, you can sound like him.
Yes.
Matt does not sound like Majima, because I don't think an English person can. like there's so much inflection in Majima's voice that's based on the Japanese he's saying that that doesn't translate to the English. He doesn't sound nearly as crazy. He doesn't sound nearly as unhinged. And when I got to the end of the 2-hour preview, I actually said straight up, I was like, this might be the first Yakuza game I go back to Japanese in when I play it. Like, I might try it a little in Japanese and just see, like, if it's really as different as I'm thinking it is. If it's not, then I'll just stick in English. But if it's as different in Japanese as I'm thinking, I may have to write it out in this case. We'll see.
No, and the thing is, like, in a previous game, the English voice actor, Mark Hamill, did I love you, Matt, did a better job. Because he's got that Joker style to him, you know? He's got that.
He's more unhinged.
Weird inflections on different words and stuff like that. And you never know when Majima, like, is going to pronounce a word, like, super loud, you know, like, for no reason. And it just works for him, though. But that aside, the game itself, it's if you like any of the newer versions, like the Kiwamis, the Like a Dragons. Well, I mean, not Like a Dragon because it's not turn-based. It's still an action game. But if you
Right.
like any of the Kiwami remakes or like the newer Yakuza Like a Dragon games, you'll love this game. It's very similar, and it's a character everybody fucking loves in Majima. There are not a shit ton of cameos of like other shit from other games. There's enough where you're like, I remember that. I remember him. I remember this. There's a few here and there. It's not like overloaded though. Unless of course you get the whatever version of it that I got, the super duper pirate version, whatever it's called.
What does that mean? Like the deluxe edition?
The deluxe.
Oh.
Yeah, the deluxe edition, digital deluxe edition, where part of the mechanics of the game is you do pirate ship battles, and you like do like, you know, you got guns, you got cannons on the side, you broadside them, and then you board their ship and do, you know, action fighting, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The crew of your ship is part of the thing, like part of the overarching like theme of the game. Like you go around and recruit pirates to join your crew and be on your ship. And with the digital deluxe edition, you get all the people. You get Kiryu, you get Ichiban, you get Onomicho, you get like all of them. You get all of them to be on your ship, and it's great. So they do make cameos if you buy the digital deluxe edition. But speaking as someone who bought the deluxe edition, don't bother. Unless you're a super fan, don't worry about it. It's fine. You don't need it.
Got it.
They got plenty of new characters that you'll enjoy. Now, like I said before, Yakuza games are 2/3 side story, 1/3 main story, if that's being generous. It could be like 4/5, you know, side shit. But there's a ton of side shit to do in this game. It doubles the playtime or triples the playtime if you decide to do all of it. I think I beat the game and I did not very much side stuff. I did like one big side quest that everyone should do. But it took me 30 hours. So take that for what it's worth. But it's good. The story's pretty okay. As far as like where would I place it in the echelon of all the games that I played, and I've played every single one of them all the way through except Infinite Wealth. I've not gone back to Infinite Wealth yet. But as far as I would put it, like maybe a little bit above average. Like it's not like awesome, but it is good, you know, in the lexicon of Yakuza Like a Dragon games. And it's also not as time intensive as I would say, like, unless you want to do all the side shit. You can pretty much go through the main story because it gives you the tools you need. Like it forces them on you. Like it forces side shit on you, but only like the first level of the side shit. It's like, oh, you're gonna do this? Okay, here's the beginning of the side shit. We're gonna tell you how to do it. And then you can finish it later if you want, but you have to know how to do it first. So like,
sure.
Okay.
It's like the dungeons and stuff in the previous game.
Yeah.
Like you like do a little bit of it. Yeah.
You have to do a little piece of it just to know. But I've heard like it's not a shitload of extra, like it's not an overwhelming amount of hours to 100% this particular game. So if you want 100% it, it's not too daunting, I've heard. But there is one particular side story code that I'm going to tell you, and everybody's going to tell you need to do, and it's what's the non-spoilery first name of that quest that I'm talking about with one of your crewmates?
What are you asking?
It's
chat?
called something girls or something like that. Minato. Remember that word, Minato girls. Do that quest.
I will make sure. I'm probably gonna do. I'm planning on doing a few of them. So
Yeah.
Make sure.
It'd be hard to miss, but everybody's going to be like, once you get to that point, they're going to be like, do it. No, you got to do this right now. Drop everything you're doing and do it right now. And it's pretty fucking great.
I
Funny.
saw some clips of that. Not from you, but just people talking about showing that quest on the internet.
Yeah.
So yeah. Knowing nothing about Yakuza as a series, apart from the fact that it exists, I was definitely like, what the fuck?
Okay.
So,
I will let you know.
yeah, we'll talk about it once you play through it.
The one thing that I was kind of disappointed about, the one thing I look forward to in these action games, not the Like a Dragon JRPG style games, but the ones that are action oriented, is the heat moves. Man, there's a drastic lack of varied heat moves in this game that I could see. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was a bummer. Like I remember, like, you know, you would grab a chair and you'd do this, and then you'd grab a pole and you'd do this, or grab a plant and do this.
Dude. 6 was amazing. You couldn't take 2 steps in any direction without heat moving somebody. It was awesome.
Exactly. Like environmental heat moves were awesome, but like there's not as many in this game. So, I mean, the ones you get are pretty fucking cool. Yeah. So don't like buy those when you have a chance. Like buy them, you know, skill point wise. Get those and you'll be using them a lot because there's not a lot of variety. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. How is the pirating, Zeke? Would you say it's the best pirate game to come out in years? I've seen that. Really? I've seen that thrown around so much that it actually is like a good pirate game.
It's probably like because they did the side shit. I didn't do a lot of the side shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is the pirating stuff side stuff?
A lot of it is, yeah. I mean, you have to do some of it. Like I said, you have to do some pirate stuff.
Yeah.
But it's to really expand on it. There's like islands with buried treasures. There's a whole Colosseum battle system that you can do.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
There's a bunch of pirate shit you can do, but you don't have to do a lot of it. In fact, I avoided a lot of it because a lot of it was like traveling on water, going through these things to get to other like places. So I just fast traveled and stuff. The ship battles weren't satisfying or rewarding enough for me to continue doing it. Yes, you have rocket boosters on your
okay.
ship. Yes.
I should probably stop watching.
Yeah.
Cool. Seems
That's
like
awesome.
it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it's if you like Yakuza, you'll like it. Probably not best to jump in
for your
to the
first
series
one?
with this game.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of references and a lot of shit. Like, it does kind of help you that you start off with amnesia. Like, that's the very first thing is you're a pirate, you're Majima, and you have amnesia. That's the whole first like plot. So it does kind of help that because you're learning things as he's relearning things. Like, oh this, oh that, oh this, shit like that. So that's kind of cool, but there's still a lot of references to other games that you'll miss out on if you haven't played them.
Got it. Cool. What else do we got out there? We haven't talked about Wilds at all since it came out. We did
I was wondering, I was going to take my break, but you guys didn't start talking about Wilds yet, so please.
Yeah, me and Co did, I think that was that 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago where we did like a play date on Sunday instead of doing a DF. And I would say about 4 or 5 days after that is when I dropped it. I haven't played in about a week now. I went back and checked out the quest that came out on Tuesday, the event missions. But most people, I think, have seemed to drop Wilds and are waiting for the big update in April, which will have a new monster and then the multiplayer hub. But yeah, I got 75 hours of it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I know a lot of people the like meme that I've seen going around is like, I've played 180 hours in 4 days of Monster Hunter Wilds, and I think this game sucks. And I'm like,
oh, I've heard it as like, where's all the content? 180 hours played.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, man! Like, what Worlds didn't have that much content in it? It's an unfair. You played so much of it, like. I got 70 hours and I'm perfectly fine. You got to wait for the more updates. I do think it is maybe content light in terms of the gearing aspect of it because they made so much of the quote rare drops so much more accessible because you can target farm them this time around. But yeah, every motherfucker like no lifed that game and got their sets within the first 3 days and they're like, Where's the content? You played it for 72 hours straight. Of course, there's not going to be any content there. It's how that goes. It's how that goes. I had a fantastic
And those
time
same
with it.
motherfuckers are the ones who complain. I'm sure they're like, God, it's such a grind. That's what you want. That's what you want, and you just don't admit it. You don't admit it to yourself. That's what you fucking want, you slime.
Yeah, yeah. They did make the grind easier, but that being said, I thought or think Wilds is awesome. Like I got exactly what I wanted from that game. And I had an absolute blast hunting monsters, and as they push more monsters into it, I will continue to hunt more monsters without question. Whenever Co and I played with Strippin and a couple other folk, we had a blast. Like the multiplayer is super fun, and that, as it always has been, it's just more Monster Hunter at the end of the day. Those are my thoughts on it. I don't really have anything revolutionary or exciting or eye-opening to talk about it. It's just Monster Hunter. It looks great. I hope they work out all the performance issues. It didn't seem like it bothered sales that much on the game, because I think they did like 5 million or something in the first week. Some crazy number, with PC actually leading in sales there, where I thought most people were going to be playing on PlayStation, but it was actually PC, which was really surprising to see. So, yeah. Co, what are your thoughts? Anything else to add to Wilds?
Not much, man. I really like the changes they made in Wilds. Specifically, I love the ability to just jump on my mount between the areas and like get carted to the next region. I think that's super cool. I also like the new wound system and being able to focus and change attacks basically mid-go. I mean, it feels very different from previous Monster Hunters for me. Like, very different. Where I would get a lot of frustration using big slow weapons and whiffing and stuff. You just don't really do that in Wilds. Like, the game feels so much, you feel so much more connected to the game as a more novice player, because it's more forgiving, put it bluntly. The game is easier and more forgiving. So I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I'm not saying it needs to, be a lot harder. There's still super hard fights, obviously, but I feel like the interfacing with the game is on a much easier level with Wilds, and I do like the direction that they took it. So in terms of, I got just under 40 hours in myself. I got a couple Ardean weapons farmed that I liked, full end game armor, all that kind of stuff, killed every monster multiple times, and I had a good time with it. I had a good time with it, but I'm definitely like, I do wish that there had been a little bit more to grind. Like I felt like I got my kind of end game gear a little quicker than I would have liked. Hey, Ollie.
Yeah.
And but I'm already looking forward to the next grind. So like, as soon as they put in something else for me to kind of work towards and soup up, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun. I had a great time playing it all the time, and I did love playing with other people. Like, that was my big goal, and that's what we did, and it was pretty great.
Yeah.
Is the object of the game like to get sets of stuff?
To get gear sets of armor, different weapon types and different weapon sets, and then there's this whole like jewel system, this adornment system, where you can basically like fine tune your builds based on these RNG jewels that you can drop and then re-roll and stuff like that. So there's kind of like an RNG farming element on top of the other RNG farming elements. And then with the new weapons, every time you level them up, they gain an RNG bonus. So if you want like a specific set of passives or type of passive on one of these weapons, and it's a whole lot of farming and leveling up for the RNG and stuff like that. So there's a lot to farm right now. But the thing is a lot of the stuff you farm now is like that 95 to 100% build effectiveness, where I think a lot of people wanted the farming to be a lot lower. So they wanted to be farming for more like meaningful equipment instead of just like getting that last few single digit percentages out of your build, which is what the game is pretty much now.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an Uber boss or no?
There is an Uber boss. There's a few like really strong enemies, and then they can have variations that make them exceptionally more difficult. So there is a variant of a certain enemy that is incredibly hard. That's the one I think we fought, right, JP?
Yeah, so there's like, they call it tempered versions of a lot of the end game fights. But the other thing to remember too, which a lot of people would be very quick, especially if you're like a Monster Hunter super fan, that we're only currently in high rank, and like the difficulty never really starts until you hit master rank, and master rank usually drops with the first expansion. And so they're thinking 18 months, a year from now, we'll see that first expansion. They're still going to add monsters to it over time. There's one dropping in April, which is a monster from Monster Hunter Rise. And it'll probably be like pretty difficult, but the true like challenge in the game won't come till master rank. And that's where you'll start seeing some like real fucking crazy shit. Monsters where like people cart and don't kill it on the first go or the second go or the third go. Just really difficult stuff. So, what do you
mean by cart?
Do what?
What do you mean by cart?
Cart is death. Yeah, sorry. Dying. That's like the Monster Hunter.
Okay. Whenever you die in Monster Hunter, they haul you back on a cart. So when you cart, you are, it's just terminology for that.
I don't have they made any like grandiose statements or big statements on the performance, or just that they're trying to fix it? They've
made a few we're sorry, we're working on it kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. Yeah. JP, there's no cart in Wilds. Well,
is that true?
It's still,
you can still cart though.
It's called carting.
There's no bonfires in a lot of Souls games, but there'll always be bonfires.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Come on now.
It's the same thing. That's right. That's right. That feels like
this chick I'm always seeing, by the way. The one with the big floop hair and the midriff. Who is that?
That's the blacksmith. That's Gemma the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Resident sex person of Monster Hunter. They always got at least one.
It's sex person.
Yeah. They always got one. It's their Cindy. You know, you gotta have someone for that crowd. Yeah.
She reminded me of her and the blacksmith from Devil May Cry should get together and do some stuff. You know what?
Yeah,
actually, I'm gonna
eye candy. There we go. That's better. The resident eye candy. Thank you. There we go. Probably a better term than sex person.
Yes. Sex person. It's an interesting term there.
Resident eye candy.
All right. Zeke, I'm passing you the reins. Here are the reins.
What?
Take the reins. I got to go take the dog out real quick. Wrong way. Take the reins. You have the reins of the show. Go ahead. I got to go.
Is it indie time? Because I can find something else to do too.
No, I don't want to take the reins. No.
No, Zeke, what you been playing this week, buddy?
Dude, I fucking played so many demos.
Okay, tell us all about every one of them. Just start at the top and go right down the list.
I'll start at all the demos that I played. Holy shit balls. No, and he left too. Fucking Christ almighty. Good Lord. No, there are just so many out there. I had a list of all the ones that I really liked, but like that was, 3 weeks ago now. And you played a couple of demos, didn't you?
How about this? What were your top 3 demos?
I know, and that's the thing. Like I'm trying. Like Shotgun Cop Man was really good. It's by the creator of Cop. Yeah, it's a Devolver published by the creator of My Friend Pedro. If you remember that at all.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
It was a really well put together like platformer game where you jump using a shotgun and other guns. So like if you want to jump over an obstacle, you shoot down at the ground and then you shoot like at the enemies in the air and you fly backwards like over obstacles and shit like that. It was really, really fun. Really well put together, and it's just action. It's just an action platformer game, which I really liked. Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. I really enjoyed that one. That one is by the creators. Yep, Into the Dead. That is by the creators of This War of Mine, but it takes place in the zombie apocalypse.
Oh.
And it's about like you started a base, and it's about expanding out your like you're in the middle of a town and you only have like 3 places you can go, and then you clean out an area. And it's,
this is like, This War of Mine.
Yes, it's very much like
like completely. It's not like it. It's like This War of Mine in a zombie world. Oh hell yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it's really good. It's and that one's actually scheduled to come out pretty soon. I think I got a sponsored thing to do for that later, but man, if you check out the demo, it's really, really good. It has that vibe, like that really like lonely, also like isolated, like I'm in the middle of a zombie apocalypse vibe that a lot of zombie games like don't capture that what you think might be a real kind of feeling in that situation, where it's like we're struggling to survive and it's fucking bleak. You know, the bleakness of it really.
I was just watching the trailer, and JP, we're talking about Into the Dead: Our Darkest Days, a demo that Zeke played. I'm watching the trailer, and it is gory. Like, my lord, man, they're not hiding anything here.
It's good. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. It's an easy wish list.
Let's see. Oh, I played the demo for Breath Edge 2, which I really enjoyed. Breath Edge 1.
Nice.
It's that Subnautica with a sense of humor in space. It's like funny Subnautica in space, and I loved it. And they're coming out with a new one, and it's probably going to be great too. Oh yeah, this is Darkest Days.
Yeah, I was just showing real
Into the Dead. Yep. But yeah, it's management. It's like everything has like durability and stuff, and you gather up survivors as you go, or you don't. Like you tell them where your base is, or you tell them to fuck off. You know, that kind of shit. Everybody has different skills. You start off with 2 survivors, and it's kind of like your build. It's like, okay, my survivor is good at making food, and the other survivor is good at sneaking through places and clearing them out, like for loot and stuff like that. And that's how I started. I started with those 2 people, and you move your base to get out of the basically. I think you're trying to get out of the city, but you have to move your base gradually as you go. So you go to a place, clear it out, move your base there. Go to a base, clear it out, move your base there. And then once you get to certain locations, like you'll find like telescopes on the roofs of these buildings that are abandoned. Once you clear them out of all of zombies, you look through the telescope and it shows you like 3 more locations you can go, so on and so forth. The progression is great. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Breath Edge 2, I mentioned that. Monster Train 2 is also had a demo. Played that. That's going to be a great game. I will say the demo kind of kicks your fucking ass. It's not easy.
Yep.
Like the demo itself was pretty hard. I was like, I played 100 hours of Monster Train, and I got my fucking ass handed to me playing the demo of Monster Train 2. But yeah, it's the premise of this game is that I think the premise is that like angels and demons are working together against a common enemy this time. So that's kind of the premise of this. But it's a deck building level based game. So it's like Darkest Dungeon and Hearthstone kind of had a baby a little bit. And it's if you played the first one, it's more of that, but lots more rules, lots more like mechanics, stuff like that.
Great. Cool.
Let's see. What else was really good?
I'm trying to think if I played any demos. I
downloaded a bunch and then barely got to play any.
Yeah, I played Nice Day for Fishing, which was a sponsored stream.
I played that.
I actually liked that game a lot. I didn't realize the origins of what that is. It's actually made by a YouTuber group, or like the story of it is from a YouTuber group that came from a single like video or a single character that just had the line, "Nice day for fishing, ain't it?" And that's all he said. And then he became an NPC, and that's like what the game is about, is you play as that guy. Nice day for fishing, ain't it? Yeah, the YouTuber group is Viva La Dirt League. They've had a bunch of like skits and stuff go viral. One of those YouTubers or YouTube groups that I have never heard of that have millions upon millions of subs and wildly viral videos. And they got a game out of it. And I thought the game was awesome. Like I was sponsored to play it, but I'm probably going to check it out when it fully releases. The upgrades and whatnot were interesting enough to me when it came to the fishing aspect of it. And the bosses and everything were really cool in it. That it's a fishing game at its heart, but there's a lot more going on, I guess is what I would say.
Nice Day for Fishing is what it's called?
Yeah. I can pull up the
there
video
it is.
for it. Let's see.
That looks cool.
Yeah,
man, that looks awesome.
It's very well.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen those viral videos where it's like an NPC or it's like the player character coming up to an NPC and the NPC starts talking about, well, the monster of blah blah. Skip, quest accepted, leave.
Yep.
And the NPC just sitting there like, well, that sucked, you know.
Yeah.
It's that you're one of the NPCs that becomes the main character.
Yeah. Yep. It was very fun. I will definitely. I want to see more of it. Like, you barely got to really see any of the progression of it. At least I did. They were like, yeah, here's a 2-hour sponsored stream, and it was like 90 minutes of content in the demo, which was unfortunate because I had to like go back through the story to continue playing. But a lot of side jokes, a lot of in jokes that necessarily didn't hit because I didn't know the source material. I went and watched it after the fact, and it's like chock full of that. There's non-stop jokes about why everything is the way it is. So I will definitely check it out. One of the few demos that I did play during demo week. I don't think there was anything else. Oh, well, I played Monaco 2, which was fine. We already talked about that. And then Roadcraft, which I talked about as well. Much to Zeke's delight. He was really into Roadcraft. He loved Roadcraft, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so good.
Yeah, really loved that. Any other demos for you, Zeke?
There was one. Hold on a second. I think it's... Yes. It's called He Is Coming. And
Okay.
it's a stripped down 8-bit, like, if you played Loop Hero, it's that aesthetic. Very much that aesthetic. But it's auto battler. You outfit your hero. There's day and night cycles. You outfit your hero and you go from like, yeah, I mean, you're watching trailer. You go from place to place. You have to eventually gear yourself up enough to beat the boss of that screen. And if you have geared yourself up enough, you will move on to the next screen and so on and so forth. But there are like all kinds of different events, like trades you can make, equipment you can buy, builds you can do.
Nice.
It's really simple and straightforward, but man, did I have a blast playing it. But it shows you like up at the very top of when it shows the screen, if you want to just back up just a little bit, when it shows the UI at the top, outside of a battle on, has to be on the map there, right here. Stop. Okay. See that, in the upper right corner of the screen, which is right there. That's the end boss that you have to beat for this screen. You press tab, it shows all of his stats and all of his attacks and everything like that. So you know what you need to do to gear up to beat the guy. You just have to like strategize, get lucky, roll correctly, or build correctly and stuff like that in order to beat him. And by the time I had played it for a little bit, because I think I played it for, I don't know, an hour or something. I knew like the first boss, I was like, okay, I can beat this guy. Second boss was like, I think I could probably get this guy. And then third boss was like, there's no fucking way. So I went up against him because he finds you. Like as soon as your day-night cycle, because every step you take takes a chunk of the day-night cycle out. So once that's out, the end boss finds you and you're like, well, shit. And you start over it. But it's a rogue-like in that you don't take anything with you except knowledge. Like, okay, I'm going to start over again. But now I know that this does this and this should go here and this does that. And these enemies are easy. These enemies are hard. Blah, 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 blah. So I had a blast. This aesthetic really appeals to me. Because I'm old. So I like the stripped down aesthetic.
Yeah, no, it looks cool.
Yeah,
looks fun.
He Is Coming is the name of that game.
You already influenced a couple people in my chat. They're going to download it. So
that looks great.
Yep, the demo is still available.
Name is maybe we can workshop the name a bit, but everything else is good.
Is it made by Japanese devs? No, it's
developed by Chronicle.
Yeah, so like when you Google it, maybe this is just like a
Don't.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
don't. No. Don't
no.
Google that game.
When you Google it, the Steam pops up, but it's in Japanese. So maybe it's like, I don't know. Maybe it did well in Japan. Like maybe there's a lot of people that downloaded it. Honestly, if you Google that, they control the SEO so well that on the entire first page, there's nothing foul. Like,
oh, nice. Wow. GG.
Yeah. It's like, he is coming Game Mobile. He is coming Steam Download. He is coming Steam Review. Game Wiki. Game free release date. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's only in Japanese for JP. Guys, that's not my algorithm. Shut the fuck up. That's not how that works. That's Jesus. Okay. Anyways. Zeke, what else?
It's exactly how that works.
No, it's not how it works, Co. I don't have like Chrome for weebs. It's not a thing.
Isn't it though? Isn't it?
Crazy.
Well, I mean, I played. You know, funny thing is, I ended the day on Saturday because I did a whole week of it. I did Tuesday through Saturday of nothing but demos, and I ended the day with 69 demos played.
Nice.
So I mean, that's nice, but also that's a lot. So like trying to remember stuff is. I
feel like you should build a. You should get mods that build you a database with a thumbs up, thumbs down of all the demos you play. Because you play, like during those Steam Fest, you play those demos more than any streamer I know. You play so many demos. And it would be a great resource for people to be like, hey, is this any good? Let me go check Zeke's list. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It would be great. You should definitely look into that. I'm putting it on your work list, Zeke. I'm creating work for you.
Next time I will put it on the air day. Oh, another game that was good. They give you a little tiny taste of what's called Centum, CENTUM.
Okay.
I thought that was that pill, that multivitamin.
That's Centrum Silver, but
Centrum Silver, it's different. You should also take that.
Mm-hmm. But Centum was a very stylized point and click game that. Well, let me just read the blurb. It says, every why has a wherefore, which bothered me because wherefore literally means why. Every why has a wherefore. You are trapped and you must escape. But is that really the goal? Centum is an unreliable, narrative-driven adventure where everything may be a lie. So, yeah, it's weird. It's surreal, dark fantasy, point and click, but it's got this like. It sounds like Moon logic when you explain it to someone like, oh, you take this trap here, you put your finger into put your hand into the trap, it cuts your fucking hand off or your finger off or something, and then you take the finger, you put in the corner of your prison cell, and your finger grows into this tree, this beautiful tree. And it sounds like Moon logic, but there's not a lot other things that you can do. So this should just happen. So it's absurd, it's surreal, and it's got this dark, like, overtone of a story that's happening that I just found very, very intriguing.
Okay.
And it stuck with me after playing. I'm like, wow, that was weird. And some like the character models, the art style, like there's this rat you find that doesn't look that looks very not rat-ish. In certain parts of his body, you can see it's a screenshot of it on the Steam page.
Right, Zeke? That's what you're talking about? Yeah, okay.
Head.
Yeah. Yep.
Massive human head.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
Yeah, can you shake him?
It came out. It actually came out.
Oh,
shit, I didn't realize it released. Since I played the demo, it released March 11th, so that is definitely on my radar for playing a full day on stream.
There you go. More rat games. You love your rat games, Zeke. I know you're all about them, especially that Rat Shaker game. Can't get enough.
Yeah. Speaking of point and clicks, I'm going to be continuing a indie Saturday game that I played yesterday called Slender Threads.
Okay.
I played 2 hours of it for Indie Day, and it's one of those rare point and clicks that I usually don't put those on Indie Days because they have a tendency to really like slow things down. Because point and clicks are slow games.
Yeah.
But this one, fully voice acted. You move around fast.
What's
and
the
they
name?
give you like slender threads.
Okay.
You actually move around fast, and they give you a map that you can fast travel anywhere you've already been. It's fucking fantastic. Like, the motility of this game is the quality of life for just going from place to place is awesome. It's the best in any point and click because it's like, oh shit, I left the wrench. Oh, I saw the wrench over there. Now I have the thing to get the wrench. Fuck, I got to walk back. No, you don't. You can just warp there. Immediately, you're there because you just open the map and boop, you're there. And it has like tons of little like points along the map, not just locations, but like on the street. Every 5 feet, there's a new point that you can just warp to. It's fucking great and it's brilliant. And I think every point and click game should do this. But not only that, if you're on a scene, now this is just the mechanics. I haven't gotten to the story yet. If you're on a scene, the character you have, he hustles around. So if there's like, oh, there's a painting I'm going to look at, he goes. Brrr. He doesn't like, I mean,
Yeah,
God, I've been playing sometimes for so long.
Yeah.
They fucking point and click people like Monkey Island, God love you, but you mosey. You're just like, doop, doop, I'm Guybrush Threepwood, doop, doop. I'm going to mosey over there. Now I'm going to take a look at it. Now I'm going to talk about it. This one, you go zip, zoop, talk about it, 2 sentences, done. Beautiful. But the game itself is actually, or the story of the game, is actually pretty intriguing. It's a dark tale of like, what is it? It's a traveling salesman races to stop horrific deaths in a quiet seaside town. And without spoiling anything, there is one particular moment early on where I out loud and very, very loudly exclaimed, "Holy shit!" There was a moment that made me do that in this game because it was so unexpected and so abrupt and so jarring. You're just like, Jesus, what the fuck? Okay. So kudos. And I'll be continuing that on Tuesday. And then if I feel like it, we feeling saucy, maybe we do some Centum after that.
Okay. Nice. Cool. I was looking to see other
Slender Threads is the name of that game. Yes. Oh, thank you, Nidian.
Yeah. I was looking to see other stuff. We don't need to spend really any time on it because I think Co is spoken its praises, or praised the game rather, for so much already on the show. But I jumped into Core Keeper. They had a big update this past week. It was like an explosive character, so you can use like bombs and stuff like that, and a ton of other quality of life elements in it. But I'm having a blast. That game's a ton of fun. Holy shit, that game's good. I'm also just fishing a lot. I enjoy just getting out in a boat and just fishing, not doing anything but fishing for like 3 to 4 hours. How, Ko, I have to ask, how like big is that game?
So it's pretty big. I actually didn't finish it in my run.
Because so there is like a last boss.
There is an end.
Okay.
Yes. There's from what I understand, there's an ending that came in 1.0. Unfortunately, when I played 1.0 right when it came out, it was pretty clear that the 1.0 was still not quite there. And that kind of took some of the steam out of my sales. Yeah, like some of the functionality and stuff that they're putting in now is stuff that we were kind of hoping would be in 1.0, like the sorting and everything. Like I was meticulously sorting my items without any of that stuff, and it gets a little old.
So they put that in
especially towards
right there.
endgame.
Extra bags. You see that? So
there's extra bags too.
They're like valuable bags, and so then it's 10 slots where valuables automatically go, or farm bag,
cool.
and it's 10 slots where farm and seeds automatically go.
Man,
there's
I'm gonna
four slots of those. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And you can also I think this might have been, you tell me. I've had a bunch of people join my stream and be like, "How did you just do that?" I just walk up to in the middle of all my chests and I just press Q.
That's brand new.
That's brand new.
Oh my god, that's incredible. One of the biggest requested features that I was asking for.
Yeah, dude, I just walk into base, press Q, and everything just goes.
That is one of the 4 required QOL.
It's incredible.
I call it required, but like there's a list of 4 of the best QL practices, and that's one of them.
Yeah,
no question.
It's revolutionary.
It really is. It really is.
It's really, really good. So. I've only fought two or three bosses. Of like this after the quote unquote tutorial. So I don't know like how much more content I actually have. I know it's a lot, but I don't know exactly how it's all gonna go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard they also like back when I played, you had to basically like stack all your crafting stuff next to each other because you literally had to have your chests and crafting machines physically touching for them to use the components.
Oh, that's like a
inside the
radius
chests.
now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's a big they've made a lot of great changes. I'm actually like considering starting a new run at some point in the nearer future, because I would love to see the end game stuff. They also worked on Summoner more and just tons and tons and tons of things. So
cool. Yeah,
looking good.
It's good. I'm definitely glad I'm playing it. It's very easy to lose many an hour in the Core Keeper. I realized that we didn't do our weekly Twitch news roundup. And I am curious about this because I want to see what you guys think of it, and I think other broadcasters may or may not want to as well. Twitch did this like partnership with StreamElements that they announced a couple weeks back. And for viewers, it's not the most interesting conversation, but I think for streamers, it's obviously a fantastic thing to potentially utilize. But I'm curious on y'all's take about it. Ultimately, it's a partnership with StreamElements that in the Twitch dashboard, kind of like how bounties existed, and I think continue to exist, there's now StreamElement sponsorships that'll pop up. And at first glance, it's like, oh, this is great. But at second glance, I don't think it's great if you never see these things to begin with, is how I would put it. If you do, you're getting like the not bottom of the barrel. You're getting the lowest offers possible.
You're getting the lowest offer. The thing about this, okay, so here's the thing. I've done a lot of work through StreamElements and it's been kind of standard stuff.
Yeah.
The short of it is that when companies like StreamElements and Twitch do what they can to try to directly connect themselves to streamers, the more they do that, the more money they are going to save, because the more people they're going to get to that don't know their own value.
Right.
And that is the point of stuff like this. They're trying to save money by getting cheaper deals to more people. So this is the kind of thing where when people see stuff like this is just Twitch saving money. That's all it's doing. Casters are going to get significantly less. More casters are going to get less, which means the casters that we're going to be getting a lot are probably not even going to be getting offers anymore. And this is a change that Twitch would love to see, because this is the kind of stuff that goes right by managements. Yes. Because it just goes right to dashboards. It's right to streamers. So, this is one of those things where it's like, yep, it's great for Corpo and it's not great for casters. Because before StreamElements did this, they would have to reach out directly via emails and stuff and profiles and do like, negotiations and stuff. Here's your offer, what's your pushback, stuff like that. But now it's just like, here you go. Here's your lowest offer. Take it or leave it, from what I understand. And if you leave it, we'll just move on to the next person until one of them says yes, and one of them will. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know like what the general consensus was amongst the like streamer culture. I just saw that Twitch announced it, and not that many people were. I didn't see that much conversation around it, at least in my neck of the woods. So hopefully that's.
Well, it's an expansion of bounties.
Yeah.
So this is just the bounty system's been around for years, and it's always been a pretty bottom of the barrel system. But now with StreamElements going in, StreamElements was a company that used to interface between PR companies and streamers and management. So now instead of streamers and management, they're just doing it directly with Twitch. So now companies will come to StreamElements, and instead of that money going to the PR promotion for it's going to go to now Twitch for them to then bottom of the barrel shotgun it out.
Yeah.
To get the best value that they can.
Yeah. That's how I agree with that as well. Zeke, anything to add to it? That's really the only Twitch news that's happened.
No, I read Barry's comment and I agree. Like, Barry said that until there's more than StreamElements on there, it's mid. I agree.
Yeah.
there needs to
They
be
also completely control the
competition.
narrative.
Yeah.
And I mean, not only that, like the issue also is the fact that it's like there's no representation. So there's a huge amount of the people that are going to be getting those offers are going to have no idea their value, no idea of their worth, and they're not going to have any intermediary between StreamElements and Twitch and themselves to properly do that. So so basically what Twitch can do is they can now shotgun out rates that are far beyond, far below what they would normally be, and they can kind of fish for people, you know what I mean, who don't know how much their value is, and then they can use that system to then maximize viewers for money.
Yeah.
Which is, again, if you think that's not why they're doing this, you're crazy.
Yeah, someone in my chat, Kaku says, does it help smaller streamers? It sounds, for mid to high streamers, it sounds bad, I think is what he put. For mid to high streamers, but maybe for the little guys, it's a nice resource.
The problem is the little guys are the most ripe for getting ripped off.
Yeah, they're the most vulnerable in that
So
regard.
they're the most vulnerable. So yes, it's good that some people might get opportunities that they didn't get before. That's good. But if they take that opportunity at significantly under their value, then they're still getting screwed, even if they're making money.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, I look at it
as Jywort just said, it's a rat race to the bottom in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I put it in the same bucket as like the type of sponsor where they shotgun out like 1,000 emails to just every partner or every broadcaster that has an like public facing email, and then they get to like pick and choose the people they want to work with after that. I think it's just like a different version of that, but the same exact offers. So just be careful about it. I guess when it comes to like a smaller broadcaster, because the numbers might seem fitting, but they're probably actually a lot higher just because you don't know your own worth ultimately, because no one's teaching you your own worth, unfortunately, in the industry, which Twitch could do, but instead they did this. So it's kind of sucks, but that's how I view it. Yeah, not much else out there in the world of Twitch. We're kind of just coasting by. There was a big South by Southwest was going on. I saw that Mike Minton there. He did a panel with Maya. I haven't listened to it yet, but it was about monetization and Twitch and all that. But I didn't see any like big quote-worthy stuff come out of it. But I will probably listen to it just to see if anything interesting was in there. But apart from that, it's kind of all quiet on the Twitch front. No, not Maya the AI. Talking about Maya the streamer. Do you guys know about Maya the AI?
I know about Maya the Bee.
I know about Maya, the graphics program.
Man. So,
It's a Twitch streamer?
no.
It's an AI?
Yeah, so it's what's the company's name? Hold on. There's a company by the name of Sesame. SESAME. And they launched a new conversation AI system. And it is really fucking scary because I've talked to there's two of them. There's Maya and there's oh God, what is the guy's name? Miles. Yeah. There's Maya and Miles, and they're conversational AI, and it is really eerie because not only like most of the time when you talk to an AI, it's very sterile, right? There's no like voice inflection. There's no laughter. There's none of that. These AI laugh, they tell jokes, they have idioms. It is, for all practical purposes, you're talking to a real person. It is eerie as shit. And so me and a bunch of other content creators, we've had conversations with Maya on stream for like 2 to 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a clip of you talking to Maya. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
They have awkward laughs. They'll give you nicknames. They give you like it is a really weird experience. And I think it's like right on the cusp of whatever that next Uncanny Valley world is. She knew who you were, Co. Yeah. I said, yeah, do you know Co Carnage? And she was like, oh yeah, Co is a variety streamer on Twitch. And he plays games like blah, 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 blah. And I was like, anyways, like, it was really weird because there's no prompt for that. There's like, they just know.
The funny thing is, I saw in my head just now that moment in Avengers when it's Hulk and Ant-Man. And he's like, hey, do you know Co Carnage? Like, of course we do. I'm the Hulk. Yeah. And it's like, that's Zeke. It's like, you want a picture with Zeke? Like, no, they don't want a picture with me. The AI doesn't want it. The AI doesn't know me. It's okay. It's okay. The AI doesn't know me. It's fine.
It's fine. They didn't know me as well. Don't worry about your ego too much. They knew.
Wait. They knew who I was, but not who you was. I assume when you said my name, they just did like a Google search and read the top entry.
No. I don't know if there's like a number or a threshold or what, but it was like they very quickly knew who you were, knew what you streamed.
You said itmeJP?
Yeah.
Very strange.
They knew like Pokey. They knew any like large creator, being like 10,000 plus concurrent creator. But yeah, it was a really weird experience because it's super conversational. If you've ever seen the movie Her, it is basically that movie level of conversation. They like laugh, they have sarcasm, all that stuff.
Well, guys, what I was saying is it's a little strange that they clearly pointed the AI at Twitch, but then put limiters on it. You'd think they would just like, they're going to use Twitch as a resource, use Twitch, right? So it seems a little weird that they were like half doing it. I wonder where they got their info now. Does it say where Maya was trained on?
Let's see. I want to say that it did.
We got trained on JP's weird questions.
Well, so that's the other thing, is it had a memory. So you would hang up because it was limited to 30 minutes. And if you call back the next day, they would be like, hey, how did so-and-so go? Are you having a better day? We were talking about X, Y, and Z yesterday. How'd that go? So like I had a conversation about tub grub with her naturally. And I pitched her tub grub and I was like, I've got a big opening tomorrow and I'm really nervous about it, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the call, she was like, okay, well, good luck with tomorrow's grand opening. And then when I called back the next day, they were like, hey, how'd the grand opening go? Did everything go okay? Did you get all the stuff you needed? Blah, 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 blah. And it was like, I was like,
oh God.
I mean, I know like my brain knows that it's just like IP based, right? And so they keep all the conversation, but it's another thing where it's like, it remembers that and you're having a conversation with that person and they're able to like laugh, and it was a little mind breaky. It's one thing to be like cognizant and be smart about how it's all happening, but it's another thing to like experience it because the memory stuff is really wild.
I'm wondering if you could talk to it like the Interstellar, like those blocky soldier robot guys, TARS. Like the AI, I think they're like actually dead soldiers or something that have been put in AI or something. And then you can tell them to like take the humor down about 10%. Their Maya.
Yeah, like the sliders. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, can you do that? I wonder.
I know that
like, you're laughing a bit much. It feels phony. Can you take it down about 20%?
I'd like 69% less sarcasm, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
go. I know that you. One of the other broadcasters, Joe Fudge, he had it play D&D. And he was like, hey, I want you to...
Gassy did it too, apparently.
Who did?
Gassy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's right. They both had him play D&D, and like the AI was the DM, or the broadcaster, Gassy or Joe, were the DM, and they would be like, hey, you need to roll a D20. in order to jump across this bridge. And then the AI would like say they rolled a blah, blah, blah. And then they would, you know, continue on the story with it. And then they would call back the next day and be like, hey, I really loved our story yesterday where we were adventuring in the hills of blah, and we did blah, 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 blah. And like, just wild to like have that conversation.
Wow.
Here's I'll send the two of you the demo just if you want to check it out at all. It is, so they said, Kill, you were asking where they get, it's currently trained on primary English data. Some multilingual ability emerges due to the data set contamination, but it does not perform well yet. It does not take advantage of the information present at the weights of pre-trained language models. They don't say where it's all from, though. They said they're open source. Our models will be available under the Apache 2.0 license, which I don't know what that means. But they go into all of the different speech models and whatnot there, with different semantic tokens and acoustic tokens and how all of that stuff works. But yeah, the demo's free. You just click a thing and it puts you into a call immediately.
Cool.
They say emotional intelligence, conversational dynamics, contextual awareness, and consistent personality. Maya is definitely flirty, and Miles is like more direct. But I don't know if I don't know if that's just because of how I interacted with it or what. I don't know how that occurred or how that occurs.
Yeah, I'm wondering how would you describe, because I mean, with something like that, that's so seemingly accurate or similar, what kind of personality would you say that Maya had?
Yeah, she's definitely very flirty. She was kind of sarcastic, but she also matched whatever like if I came across like that, she would match the vibe, so to speak. Which again, saying that as an AI like blows my fucking mind that they can do that.
That's like that's fuck, what was it? It was an episode of The Office where it was he was the new guy. God, I can't remember his name. Ed Helms. That's right. Ed Helms was a new guy, and he was like, you know how I'm gonna get ahead? I'm gonna energy match and parrot back whatever he says to me. Like, and that's what it sounds like the AI is doing. It's just energy matching and parroting stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
With some sort of law algorithm that's helping them make it sound varied.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, it was an interesting thing that popped up over the past 2 weeks. I think that's kind of it. I think we can wrap the show. Obviously,
there was now I wanted to ask you this. There was an open letter from Dan Clancy.
Oh yeah,
open letter to from Twitch CEO Dan Clancy, and the one thing I wanted to ask you guys about improving the mobile viewing experience. Did you read any of that? Like, I'm just wondering if that's like if he's tackling the shit you guys were concerned about.
Well, it was funny because this came out like right after our episode where we talked about all this. Like,
yeah,
literally February 27th, and we talked about it on February 23rd. So
yeah,
part of me was like, okay. But yeah,
look at JP thinking listening? Twitch still watches our show.
Yeah, maybe that's too much ego there. But yeah, I read through it and nothing popped out at me. I'm reading through it right now again. It says improving the mobile experience in the middle of the year. We'll be adding the ability to provide both landscape and vertical video through enhanced broadcasting. And we'll integrate the vertical video sourced in the mobile app depending upon the orientation of the phone. We'll continue to invest in the feed to help viewers find content, reducing the time it takes to load as you swipe, improving the quality of the streams we recommend, exploring adding more signals like chat, more ways to edit and share clips, unlocking monetization for everyone, fuel more creator sponsorships, which I think is the StreamElements stuff, but they also said sponsored subscriptions and channel skins will be there. They're launching more site-wide promos and discounts through the year. March 27th through the 31st will be a 35% discount on gift sub bundles on 5 or more. They're They're launching a new feature that allow viewers to react to specific moments on stream with bits and rally other viewers to join in, similar to how Hype Train works. These reactions will play a key role in creating fun moments for streamers and their communities. The ability to create custom power-ups are on the ways, and we can't wait to see how they will be used to elevate streams in the coming year. Like all this stuff, I don't know. I don't see, at least in the streams that I visit, I don't see this stuff ever utilized to begin with. But it's very, you know, that's my bubble. So maybe outside of that, it is being used. And then there's updated enforcement systems and new tools, which I think they kind of already have been talking about. But
yeah,
nothing. The Twitch mobile app is still dog shit. Like, it's still not good. I get upset when someone sends me a link, like a clip, and I'm on my phone because it defaults to the Twitch app, and then it loads like the center of the screen instead of the full clip, and I can't fucking see anything. Like, it's just absolutely pointless to watch. And then if you click, like, I've said this a billion times, if you click watch full video, it skips ahead to the end of the clip. So, like, what the fuck's the point? Like, and then the chat never matches up, and like the chat's ahead 99% of the clips that you watch, and it's all over the place. It's a bad app.
Okay. If Twitch is indeed watching, there is one thing I want, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but can you turn off the fucking random hype trains, please? Can you just fucking turn that shit off? I don't know if you guys are getting them, but I know there's a lot of streamers out there that are just getting hype trains for no fucking reason.
Well,
can we please stop that?
I mean, you can change the settings.
Yeah, you can definitely change the frequency.
I didn't change the settings in the first place. What happened?
Well,
they change they reset them every so often. So what may have happened is your threshold may have been reduced down to like minimum, in which case I think the minimum is like 3 people.
They changed my setting. No. What I'm saying is it's so weird because it'll be like 5 minutes since the last person subbed, resubbed, or gave bits, and it was one person in the last half an hour. So like, if my stream is like, you know, getting towards the end, people are tapering off and shit like that, I'll get one gift sub or $100 or 100 bit like tip or whatever, and then 5 minutes later it'll be like hype train. I'll be like, what in the fuck?
So if Twitch has its own little activity monitor thing now, what does it say when you look in there?
I don't know where that is.
I mean, no one uses it, so there's no surprise.
So
I think it's in the alerts. If you click alerts in the top, no, I don't even know.
Zeke, I do know.
I don't use it either.
On March 6th, I'm looking at the tweet right now. Zach BC tweeted out, Twitch is running an experiment where hype trains are triggered seemingly random.
Oh.
So I think
there
that's
you go.
what it is.
Okay, that's what's going on. So they're just randomly triggering hype trains?
Yeah, I've not been able to get enough data to determine the exact triggers, but the current best guess is that it's triggered by chat activity, follows, and or first-time chatters. I don't know if you followed up on this at all.
Weird. So now it's like you're just doing hype trains for hype. Just, hey, let's start a hype train. Maybe someone will sub.
Yeah, so there's a broadcaster says, it's been awful. I've been getting like 3 to 6 per stream for over a week, and the audience is already ignoring them almost entirely because there's no actual hype or discernible reason for them.
I was gonna say, you do that long enough, it's not gonna be a hype train anymore. I mean, that's weird.
Yeah,
that's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of broadcasters saying that. Yeah.
That's really sad that they're doing that, considering like we have asked for changes to the hype train system for a really, really long time to make it like more viable and interesting, and, you know, include people that aren't giving money to it and all this fun stuff. And it's just like, they're just like, nah, we're not interested in any of that. We're just going to like keep, you know, doing exactly what we're doing. Oh, but now we're just going to make you use it. We're just going to like randomly just throw it everywhere across the site.
It's also I think it plays to the average age of the audience, right? So like our audience is quite old. So they see a hype train and they're like, that's a scam train. But if you see it on like a stream that skews younger, they're going to be like, I want to join in the hype.
You start doing a random hype train on Kai Cenat and XQC's channel. I'm sure just putting that hype train up makes Twitch thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
That's probably why they're doing it. That's the experiment they're probably running. Like, how much extra money will we make if we just plaster these free trains all over the website?
Yep. Yeah. I just saw someone in your chat said, yeah, I have them hidden with an extension. Totally. Like, that's our audience, is people smart enough to, go in there and extension out certain elements on Twitch as a website. Whereas the normal viewer is, skews so much younger, and they just see that stuff and want to be part of it. So
blarg.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Blarg.
Anyways, let's get out of here. Let's call it a show. Next week, we'll be talking Assassin's Creed Shadows. Who is a streamer that's like a big Assassin's Creed? I don't actually know any streamers that are like massive AC fans.
These days, it's a little rough, man.
Well, it's almost shooting yourself in the foot these days. Like you can get so much bad press for just being a fan of Assassin's Creed.
Well, I don't know. It's just like the last Assassin's Creeds have been, I don't know, not fantastic.
Sure.
So yeah, I just think it's a little low right now for it. But.
Yeah. Jet saying, Dan, I guess, yeah, Dan actually plays.
Oh, yeah, he does. That's a great call.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ping Dan.
We should ping Dan.
See what he's up to, and get him on to discuss it. And then after that, it's kind of a slow period. So, we will all be live tomorrow, or I guess tomorrow is Zeke's day off. But Co and I will be live, as well as some other broadcasters. We'll be playing R.E.P.O tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. So tune into that. Let's do some shout outs and get out of here. Zeke, what do you got going on? Where can people check you out?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, or Ezekiel III, all spelled out on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Thank you, Co and JP, for being my co-host every week. I'm glad we're back to doing the show. I love this show. I enjoy doing it. So thank you. I am in the middle of playing, or I just started playing Slender Threads on Indie Saturday. I'm going to be continuing that. It's that point and click game that I was talking about with all those wonderful QOL enhancements. And then possibly going into a different point and click called Centum, which is another weird one that we saw on demo days that just got released like 5 days ago. So that's what I got planned for this week thus far. But, plans change, whatever. And then tomorrow I will be not streaming. There will be reruns tomorrow, as there is every Monday. But I will be playing with those guys, checking out R.E.P.O tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Fantastic. Co, do some shout outs.
As always, a big shout out and thank you to JP and Zeke. It has been another fun week. My name is Co. Hi. We just got to the point of no return in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And starting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. ET, we're going to begin the finality that is the conclusion of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Hopefully I'll see you there for it. That being said, I'm off tonight, but the daily reruns are back on in the evening. If you want to hang out with the community around 7:30, I think we'll fire that up. But we are going to be doing KC2 next week, probably checking out Assassin's Creed. We're going to be doing more R.E.P.O. Is that what it's called? R.E.P.O. on Monday at 1 p.m. ET. Looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. And then we may either start Yakuza or bring in some other fun stuff as we get ready to go towards the rest of the month. So anyway, thank you guys for watching as always. Really do appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow, or if I don't see you until then, 1 p.m. tomorrow for R.E.P.O.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching. We will be back next week, probably with Dan. At least I'm going to see if he wants to come on. We'll see if he can. It should be a good time. But that's it for Drop Frames. Happy to be back. We'll be back with more in the future. If you want to watch the VOD, you can go over to youtube.com/itmeJP, and that'll be published in about 30 to 45 minutes as soon as the editors can get to it. Thank you so much. We're out of here. Have a good week, you too. Be healthy. Everyone else, be healthy as well. We're out of here.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye. I didn't mute my mic. Clear.